Good evening, everybody. This is Tips and Gist. I welcome everybody. Today, I feel like speaking English, but as you know, I'll be mixing the tree. It's because I've been getting complaints from people from Nigeria, people from Zimbabwe and South Africa that they don't get my language. I used to see your comments. But the issue is, most people in Ghana also prefer me to speak my local language so that they can really comprehend whatever I'm saying. And so I'll be missing my local language. But one thing I want you to know is language can never be a barrier. Whatever we are doing, if you pay attention, you'll be able to understand because I'll go on the visa portal for you to get to know it. Now, this conference, I've done some before. I've done it before. I did the presentation in English. So if today will be an issue for you, if you're not able to understand my local language, then probably you can go and watch the first video, right? You can go and watch the first video. So I'll be mixing the English and the tree. All right. Inti for me, Mama Kwaba, and about tips and gist. And the conference, a conference visa. Now, one thing I'm a person make sure more. Okay, what I want to tell you guys is you have to create your IRCC account, the Immigration Refugee Citizenship Canada. That was what the other day we came here to do. So please, if you didn't watch that video, please go and watch that video. You can see something as a comment, right? You can see a banner teaching you how to create the IRCC account. It is meant for visa applications. So please go and learn how to create IRCC account before you can understand whatever we are doing today. So the other day I created an account with you, and today I'm going to log into that account to be able to apply for the conference visa to show everybody. So you can apply it yourself without agent. Ubet me I visa application. Abra agent biya enka wo ho. De here na say ubenya wo documents na ubenya wo sika. So you better discuss about the documents. We will be talking about the documents. We will be talking about the visa fees and the processing times and a whole lot. We will do all those before we enter into the application itself. So let us begin. Say a CASA conference visa, a part of Canada visitor visa. Visitor visa no and a broad. Enti say oko omovi portal no so a canada.ca. Enya dia ubehunu conference visa wo ho. De ubehunu ye visitor visa, study permit, work permit no many ade. So please, conference no share visitor visa no ase. So you are supposed to apply for a visitor visa. Now, in attempt to apply for a visitor visa, then they will ask you the purpose of the visa. So purpose now will be choose, and no any better documents are be submitted, right? So what I said is, if you want to apply for a conference visa, you have to go to the Canada.ca and select a visitor visa because it is under the visitor visa. The purpose of that visitor visa will indicate the documents you will need to present, and that will show that you are really going for a conference or probably a tour or a family visit. So if you choose a conference, then you need to present documents for a conference. For instance, somebody going for a conference will need to present a conference invitation or an event invitation, right? Letter. Somebody going for a tour will need to book tourist centers. So the aim of that visa or the purpose of that visa will indicate the documents you will need to start the application. Eti ebusia sa ena yebekono ene enkakra. So fast forward, me demo beko Canada.ca. The other day, me tell how to go there. I'll just go to the website direct, Canada.ca. Iti okohwa tete de nano me then you click on the visitor visa, then you get to that place. I have embedded the link directly on YouTube, right inside the caption, right in the caption. Yes, the link is right there. So you can click there. It will take you to that website, the Canada.ca. Then you can really read whatever. So you can see a visitor visa. What is a visitor visa? I already explained. So a visitor visa is purposely for you to travel to Canada to how do we call it? Complete a tax. So if it is a tour, that means you are going to for tourism, for tourist attraction, right? To visit them. If it's for conference, then that means you are going for a business trip, right? You are going to for a business conference. It's part of the business trip. If it is a family visit, that means you are going to visit your family member. So you are going to complete a task or a purpose. And it's a short-term duration, right? They give a multiple entry. They can give you up to 10 years. Sometimes, depending on your visa, they can give you 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, right? You don't show the number of years you want. If you come to UK, you indicate the number of years you want, because as for UK, the number of years you want to apply to UK will show the amount you pay. For instance, a 1-year visitor visa to UK is £115. 2 years is around 200 and something pounds. But for Canada, you don't tell them the number of years. They decide the number of years they want to give to you. Canada for no na ebe number of years on the amount. It in boy pay $100 Canadian. But don't forget you'll be paying biometric fee, additional $84 Canadian. It in combination a visa fee and biometric fee and you know around $184 Canadian. Right. So the visitor visa is very broad. If you go into details, that aspect is what we are going to see, the conference visa, or how to apply for a conference to Canada. All right. So as you can see, those on Facebook, those on Twitter, and those on YouTube, you can just see, how do we call it? You can see the Canada.ca, the website. So we are going straight. When you come here, I have already explained everything here. You can stay up to 6 months, right? So if they give you a single entry, that means you enter once, you can stay up to 6 months. You have to leave. If you stay more than 6 months, you become illegal, right? If they give you 2 years, then you can go, double entry, then you can go 2 times. So if you go the first year, you stay like 6 months, you come back, you can go for another visit, then you can really come back. After that, you don't have a visa again. If it is a multiple entry for 5 years, they can use it within 5 years. You go, come back, go, come back. If it's 10 years, you can use it within 10 years. But please, when you enter, you cannot stay more than 6 months in an entry. Okay? In an entry, you cannot stay more than 6 months. However, if it's a multiple entry, you can go and go and go. But please, when you go, make sure that you don't spend more than 6 months per entry. All right. They have a card called a visitor record, right? So they'll give you a document called a visitor record, and that will show the date you need to leave. So even though you can stay up to 6 months, when you get to the port of entry, I mean the Canada airport, right? When you get to the port of entry, they will decide the number of weeks you have to spend. So they can tell you that even though you have a maximum of 6 months, you have to leave the country by 2 months' time or 3 months' time, depending on the border officer, right? Yeah. So if you don't get a stamp in your passport, then you can stay for the 6 months that you entered. But if you get a stamp showing, indicating that you have to leave within 3 months or 4 months or 2 months' time, please, you have to adhere to the rules and regulations, because if another time you want to enter the country, probably they will not allow you, they will restrict you, or probably you find yourself wanting because the other time you abuse whatever they told you to, right? You abuse the rules. So that is that. All right. So I'll get somebody asking, they gave me a multiple entry 10 years, but you are saying that I can stay only 6 months. I say per entry. So the first year, if you enter, you can stay up to 6 months, get back, then you enter another time. You can spend up to that time, right? All right. And I'm my address say, Mokwa, Mom baby, Mr. Manisha with trim, Manisha with trim. On this platform, no, we only teach what is meant on the website, what is meant for you. So when him say, okay, now baby, a wasem, Manisha with trim. Aha. And money show during the application, every ura airport and money show, and no your one new yanko asem. Miss dear TNT, and two could report one besides say, when are you going back? Tell them that I'll be leaving this day, right? Aha. That is the aim of the visa, is to visit and come back. Is to visit and come back. Yo. All right. We're down for Bikoye or the conference koye wa maybe muntu go do opportunity bisa say obeba wo se there be wo ma mesro. The aim of it is to come back. It ma kosa issue to munye wura krom ho de a and ne wura ho wie de opese wo ye bia obetumi e den aye. All right. So they have another policy running currently, that is the LMIA, the Labor Market Impact Assessment, right? So the government is saying that The LMI is meant for foreigners, foreign workers. And once you are a foreigner, you have been able to come to Canada, even though it is meant for foreign workers. When you are in Ghana, when you are in Nigeria, South Africa, Zimbabwe, you can apply for LMI jobs. But you that you've come to Canada, you also have access to apply for the LMI jobs, right? This policy started May 2023, and it's a 2-year policy. So exactly May 2025, they are going to end that policy, right? So if you go there and you're able to get LMIA jobs, then you can switch to a work permit. So if you should ask me, may the conference, if I take conference, if I go with a conference visa, will I be able to switch to a work permit? Yes, according to what the government is saying. However, there are rules and regulations. You should be able to get LMIA jobs. And don't forget, the LMIA itself has its own requirements. So you have to meet the requirement. So it is just like you going to somebody's house, and that man has a policy that if you come to my house, you can stay there for 1 week. But I have a daughter. If my daughter marry you, you become the husband of my daughter, then you can stay here forever. You said, okay, I will come. When I come, I'll come and propose to your daughter, then I'll marry your daughter. But you have to ask yourself, the daughter also can deny you. You can propose and the daughter will say, no, I will not marry you. Right? Yes. So do you know the requirements of the daughter? Probably the daughter like a fair guy. You are a dark guy. So they will not accept you. So that is how it is. So you just don't move there thinking that it will happen automatically. No, you can be rejected. There are a lot of people who move to Canada are still fighting to get the LMI because they don't meet the requirements. One major requirement is your English language. You should be able to prove proficiency in English. If you don't meet that requirement and you go there thinking that you will be able to get LMIA, it will not happen. So note that. Enti wako ose papa ne se oba na obeware ne baba obema obabi atena forever. Na okona ne baba na ante ase ama wo se wo mpewa. Se ne papa ne beka cho se wo time na so ntisa akọ. Sa ne tie. Enti amanfo ka kyerɛw agent no ɔpɛ wo sika agye nti wɔnka mu no kora nkyerɛw because ɔka saa asɛm mu kyerɛw a ebia wadwen bɛyɛ wo sɛ na mekɔɛ na ansi a ɛneɛ menkɔ ɔno ɔpɛ ne sika agye nti deɛ ɛdɛn na ɔbɛka kyerɛw sɛ obi a ɔkɔɛ bi anya nkrataa ne bi nti wokɔ abɛnya but ɛnte saa it comes with a requirement. So please, before you move there, you have to gather your documents, everything intact. But please, because the aim of the visitor visa is to go and visit. Don't show it in your document. Say Okrano or resume, Okrano or English proficiency letter. And if you get to the airport and they ask you that are you going to look for LMI, tell them no, you just went for a conference. And after the end of the conference, you are coming back. That is the aim of the visa. Maokose kose enshe witrim. De wadrene enka witrim na winim de woye. It will resume you with English you ni nyina wo de go Google Drive. And I say opa akra obi kura wo fie obetimi asend ama wo. Right? Wo de go wadanfo phone so Ghana. Wo kodru a nipa no obetimi asend those documents in a PDF no they send o. Abrochire yɛmfa hard copy and apply adwuma. Bibia ye online. Right? Emfa nka wo ho emane show wobetimi adru airport okra yɛ se fa form ayɛ ne ahwehwɛ so afi ye behwɛ so na wo documents na gusu yi wo CV no ne ade bi na CV de wo de kwaye den na je sɛ wayɛ wadwun sɛ okɔpɛ LMI enye bɔne sɛ okɔpɛ LMI but the issue ne sɛ wokɔ na wanya bi nso a na kyɛ sɛ obɛyɛ illegal nti ɔmo ma wo nwram right unya ma ɔmo hu sɛ okɔpɛ LMI na de ɔmo ka kyɛn sɛ what if sɛ okɔ nso na wanya LMI na kyɛ sɛ wo ma eti manenya the aim of the visitor visa or the conference is to go for the conference meeting. After that business trip, you are coming back. Tell them that, and they will allow you to enter because that is the aim, that is the purpose of the visa. All right. Now, let us go. Who can apply for this visa? That is the next topic. Who can apply? So you can see here, there are some sections over here. So the first one is what is a visitor visa? I have explained that. We are going to who can apply, how to apply. After you apply, what happens? Then you prepare your arrival, right? So how to apply, we will discuss it, but we will go details. I will show you how to apply today. We will fill the application form and everything today. All the documents, so we are going to discuss that. So the second one is who can apply. So let us click on that, who can apply. All right. So who can get a visitor visa? Somebody with a valid travel document like a passport. Without a travel passport, you cannot get a visitor visa or a conference visa or a tourist visa or a family visit or any form of visa. So the conference being under the visitor visa, you cannot get it if you don't have a travel passport. So please go and get a travel passport. Number two, you have to be in good health. You have to be in a good health. And yes, so you'll be a sebe yare, right? Until also right? You shouldn't have no criminal or immigration related convictions. Eti unyo bia wako wia de ame acho and I say what record and I say be immigration related convictions to say ya ban with that untumi sanya application. I just say ban no den every ho. And on your friend immigration related convictions. All right. You should be able to convince the immigration officer that you have ties such as home, job, a job, financial asset, or family that will take you back the country, into home country. It will be a visa application. I afraid be letter of explanation, right? And I said it be kind of cover letter. And I say yeah, until what's a way explaining the officer that you will be able to come back in. And as a convincing or in attempt to do that, you need some things like juma, right? Into me Ghana krano, me ye me juma papa bi yetua me ka nti no sa no ubehia I will be teaching you your documents wa ubehu ni nyina nti no sa no ubehia appointment letter, recommendation letter. I chess and power adwuma bi dem eye e Ghana ana Dubai ana UK baby wutie me free bi a wo pese wo the conference e Canada, right? You should be able to show say wo adwuma wo fia and also eboa eti home ties no wale stay and on chese chinchina e wo se wonya ni nyina emu bia obeje deɛ bɛ convince nti wahwɛ mu a adeɛ wei sɛ na metumi da convince akwasi broni a fa ɛno kɔma no nti such as yɛka such as a wankasɛ ne nyinaa nti example ɛna wama nti adwuma yɛ baako wasi dan a home wɔ fie a ɛyɛ baako financial asset asase ebi mu koraa wɔ cars ɔmotumi de ɔmo car documents na ɔmo ne adade nyinaa dɛm prove sɛ oh me koraa me wɔ car ɛna o family mpo sɛ waware wɔ nkwadaa na wagya mo wɔ Ghana. It is also a home ties ɛno koraa kyerɛw sɛ wagya wo yere ne wo ma ɛwɔ fie nti ɛnyɛ adeɛ a wokɔ a wobɛkyɛ wo sa bɛkɔ atwa w'ani akɔhwɛ wo ma. So family is also a home ties. So you can also say, oh, I even have a wife with 2 children. This doesn't mean say if you don't have kids, they will not give the visa to you. I didn't say that. I said these are all examples. So if you don't have kids, then you should have a strong home ties like a job or financial asset or probably something else, right? Yes. You have to be also able to convince the immigration officer that you will leave Canada at the end of your visit. So the immigration officer, you have to be able to show documents. That is why I told you that it is also part of the first convince. So you convince the officer that you have home ties, and it also shows that you leave Canada at the end of your visit. For example, wako yacho, what say LMI abine say what the LMI bar ube to me switch into wako na yebisa intelligent question that my brother, you are coming with a conference. So in case you go and they give you LMIA, will you switch? The moment you said yes, you have violated this rule. That means you didn't convince the immigration officer that you will come back at the end of your visit. Note that you are going for the conference because of that meeting. After that business meeting, you are coming back. So obe switching po emanin ka utrim emanin nada akwesi broni obe busao question bi a wan hwe ya obe confused obe to question no basa. So into woko na bibisa obes wechiana the moment abeka say and what violate sa emra we say I just say you come back and catch say no me come a conference I will come back ukodra enye airport ho enye sa immigration for no na obes wechi you just write to the IRCC. They are different from omomo airport ho into airport officer no emane enko enye ho na ukocheche wonsemu eden achre no. All right. Yeah, I'll try my best to speak in English, but most of the things I cannot speak in English because I don't know where this video is going. So those things on the website, I do explain in English. When you see me changing to my local language, it means those things. I wish I can speak your local language as well because some of the things I cannot speak in English for some things, for some reasons. All right. You should have enough money for your stay. That is why you show a bank statement. So it is a critical evidence that you have financial how do we call it, asset, right? You'll be able to finance yourself, your financial trip, your hotel bills, what you eat, and money to buy food, anything, right? So you should be able to have enough money for your stay. All right. And the amount that you will need, it depends on how long you will stay. Number one, your hotel bills, and a lot. So they said if you are going to stay with a family or relative, that means you will not be renting a hotel. So you don't need much in your bank account. But if you are going for a conference, then probably you'll be staying in a hotel. So you need to calculate the hotel bills, the number of days that you stay in Canada. And please research, Google the minimum living expenses in Canada per day. You'll get to know that, oh, in Canada, at least you have to spend this amount of money, Canadian dollars. Maybe example is like you have to spend $50 per day. So if you are going to stay like 1 week, then probably your minimum expenses will be like $500. Then how much is the hotel? How do we call it? Taking. Then you calculate the hotel fees. Please add transport because internal transport, right? Then your flight ticket, and add extra money. So that will give you a broad idea that okay, then probably I need like 3,000 Canadian dollars or 4,000 Canadian dollars or 5,000 or 6,000 or 10,000 or 20,000, depending on your own discretion, because they do not add the amount. They don't quote the amount. Your bank statement should be 6 months because it's a visit. If you are a student, it's 4 months. But visitor visa and conference is a visitor visa. So you need a bank statement of 6 months. That means you have to go and print. You have to go back to your bank, go and print your statement from, if it is, for example, from January, February, March, April, May, June, right? 6 months, and gather every document and go and show it to them that January, this is the amount of money that entered my bank account. This is the amount of money that I spent. February, this is the closing balance. This is the remaining, like that. So if you have a bank statement, you know what I'm talking about. That is how they do the calculation. Subtraction, addition, a whole lot, right? So your bank statement is very necessary and it should be 6 months. All right. In addition to other documents that we are going to discuss, I am streaming this on TikTok. I am streaming this on live on YouTube, live on Twitter, live on Facebook. The difference between Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, is that these three platforms, you are able to see me and you are able to see the Canada website. But TikTok, you only see me because of their policy. I cannot stream on the website for you to see on TikTok. Otherwise, TikTok is going to ban my account. So please pardon me, but I encourage that probably you come on YouTube to watch as we are doing it, or probably later you can go on YouTube, search tips and just then you just go through the live sessions and you will see that the live has been saved on YouTube. Then you can watch a playback. All right. Let us continue. Some people who are not allowed to enter Canada, those with criminal human violations, blah, 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 blah. If you are taking a child alongside, then probably you will need to get, I'll get there. It's a part of a document. You will need to get a custody, how do we call it? A letter or something, right? Or one letter from the parents. If it's an adopted child, then you have to get a letter from the court before you can take that child along. So if you adopt a child and you want to take the child alongside your travel, then you need a letter from the court, permission that I came to adopt a child. I'm going to visit to Canada. Then I want to take the child along. So they'll give you, if you are one parent, the other parent has to show a consent that, yes, I am the father and I have allowed my wife to take my child alongside the visit. So we will get there. I will explain further. Let us go to number 3, how to apply. How to apply. All right. So how to apply, I will be okay. So how to apply, they have updated their website. Initially, they gave an overview before you go to the documents, but they have taken that thing out. Let me look at the date that they updated. Okay, they just updated 27th of November. That was ending of last month. So they've taken a section. We would have seen the overview, and the overview is you gather your documents. Step 1, you gather your document. Step 2, you fill the application form and everything. Step 3, you upload your documents. And step 4, you pay the fees, the visa fees. Step 5, you go for your biometric. And step 6, you wait for passport submission. So that was the overview. They've taken it from there, but they've jumped to the documents. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you in detail so that you have to just take and stay. All right. So the documents, yes. So this is where the problem is. So you can see that the visitor visa, now they have separated it into columns. We have, if you are going to visit as a tourist, then your documents will be different from somebody visiting for a business. If you are going for a family visit, then yours will be different from somebody going for compassionate reasons and none of the above. I'm not sure you choose none of the above. So please, those going for tour, then you have to click there. Another time we will be doing tourist visa, so that time we are going to click on a tour. Those going for a family invite, if you have somebody in Canada who is inviting you, they have to click for family visit. Another time we are going to do that. But today we are basically doing a conference visa, and that is a business trip because you are going there for a conference to learn, right? Probably they are doing some presentations or something about malaria or maybe health condition or about entrepreneur or any course, right? Depending on the conference that you book. So it's a business trip, right? So you click there to visit for a business. And then you go to continue. All right. So gather the documents. So we are coming to look at the documents. Now, one thing that I want you to note here is not all the documents listed below are required. Some are optional. But I will encourage you, even the optional documents, they tell you that it assists them to get to be able to decide on your case. So, for instance, a bank statement is optional, but they will tell you that they needed to know if you are financially stable. For instance, travel history. If you have traveled before, they tell you that it is optional, but they can tell you that if you have traveled before, it really helped them to give you the visa. I'm not saying that if you not traveled before, do not give you the visa, but some of such circumstances help them to really decide on your visa quickly or faster. All right. So not all the documents are required; others are optional. But if you have it, give it to them. All right. Okay. Let us go. Let us go. Even if you submit all the documents listed, there's no guarantee that they will approve your application. That is what they want to tell you, because your documents might not be enough. For instance, you can't tell them that because they say give them a bank statement, give them a travel itinerary. You've given them everything, so definitely they have to give you the visa. No. What if your bank statement is wrong? So that is what they are telling you, that even if you submit all the documents, it is not a guarantee that they will approve your application. So you have to submit it well, right? All right. So the first document you need is your identity card or the identity documents, and that is a passport. So the passport is what they need here because the other things do not relate to we blacks, right? We don't have alien passport. We don't have a US permit. We don't have a US refugee travel documents or whatever. We all we have is a travel passport, whether it is regular, whether it's a diplomatic passport, whether it is official. So that is what they have said. All right. So your passport is the first document. All right. Your second document is a use of a representative. A use of a representative. If your family member is doing the application for you, then please they need to fill this form, the form 5476. Form 5476. So, for instance, a family member or a third party. But one thing that I notice is if an agent is doing the application for you, instead of them to fill that form, they indicate that you are the actual person doing the application. Well, it might not be an issue, but if you go to if you get to the airport and there's something there's an issue, and they ask you who filled the application form for you or who applied the visa for you, then you tell them that an agent, and they realize that you didn't fill that form, the form 5476, that is a third party or a family member applying on behalf, filling or doing it on behalf of you, then they will not allow you to enter because you have violated their rule. So please, if an agent will do the visa for you, you need to fill that form. That is why the other day I told you that visa is not meant for how do we call it? Agent. You, the applicant, you, the one applying, they are encouraging you to apply. They are encouraging you to apply. I get some people giving negative comments on TikTok that you are not immigration officer. You're always talking about this. Who told you immigration officers are the ones who are supposed to apply visa for people? Immigration officers are only to give immigration advice. They advise you, probably if you have an issue, you can just walk to immigration office, then ask them, I want to go to this country. Do they have a good connection with our country? Is there any crime rate over there? Is that country safe for me to go there? Can you give me an idea, an advice? Right? That is their work. We have immigration lawyers. What they also do is they come in to assist people who need appeal. When you need a lawyer to appeal on your behalf, probably they rejected your visa, you want to submit an appeal. That is where the immigration lawyers come in. But visa application is you and me. But because Africa, we don't learn. Africa, the illiteracy is very low. Nipa no ko school kura wenhunu, yechira na de kura wenhunu, visa no behunu. Visa no behunu. Eti yadwen say just obi na yema e, just a third party. Obi kura de nim say just immigration lawyer na yema no. Fine, they can all do their all third parties, but please, you the applicant, you are supposed to do it yourself. If not, then they have to fill the form 5476 to tell the embassy that you the applicant and now na we nti bibi ko bone a womo na yenko omo so. You have to note that. Please, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, please share the live. Subscribe to my channel and like, right? Click on the like button. Subscribe to my channel and share the live. If you're on TikTok, click on the screen. Okay, be tapping on your screen for people to come and listen. That's Canada by any say. It's a third party bibeyama, whether or your family member, your family member, your spouse, ukunukra ne yama wa. It was of fellas from because enya wa. So ukunumpu ne yama wa. Enya wa. All right. So whether it is your mom, your dad, your husband, your brother, your sister, your friend, a third party you pay, an agency you pay, a lawyer will pay, anybody, then they have to fill that form 5476. All right. Recommended documents. So I already talked about so travel history. Do you have any travel history? Have you traveled to Canada before or any other country? This is recommended. This is not compulsory, right? This is not compulsory. This is optional, but it helps you to get the visa. Already explained that to you, that some of the documents are not compulsory. So they are called the recommended document. They recommend it to you that, February. But first, you need a must. The identity documents. And as will be Yamawa, a must. Anything a hono, mistress or hono. Because Udi Agra would report I best sign. Lady be by my life or so. She got a visa to Canada, visitor visa. She got to the airport and they brought her back. She didn't enter. So I am telling you this, right? All right. Travel history. Have you traveled to Canada or any other country before? If so, then you have to get a copy of those things. So if you open your passport, any country that you've gone, that the visas over there, make photocopies of those things. So you click on the details. So a clear copy of one of the following: your previous passports, your study permit, or any visa, whether it has expired or it is still valid, you need to show it. All right, you need to show it. So if you are in the UK and you are doing application, if traveled to the UK before, you are using a Ghana passport. So they have to know that you are a Ghanaian using a Ghana passport, but you're currently in the UK. So your travel history, you have to include that you are in the UK. You have to give the visa that they gave it to you when you were coming to the UK, right? You have to give a copy of that thing for you. And please, the passport that I told you, you have to give a copy. Like, there's a biodata of the passport. If you open your passport, where you can see your picture, where you can see your hometown, your date of birth, the issuing date, and that is the biodata. So you have to give a copy. That is, you can either do a PDF document, right? You can scan it into a PDF. You update it electronically. They have a portal that you can send all the documents electronically, right? So you don't take the physical passport. You only take the physical passport when they have decided on your visa and they ask you to bring it so that they'll put the visa in for you. But during the application, it is just the copy, the scanned part. That is where you show it to them. All right. Back to the travel history. So the travel history in your passport, wherever you have traveled, any visa that you've gotten, you have to give a copy, okay? Scan all those parts and attach it to your documents. If you don't have it, it is a recommended, not compulsory. So don't panic. You still get the visa. Itinerary. What is itinerary? These are documents to show how long you plan to stay and what you will do in Canada. So how long do you plan to stay? So itineraries will include a hotel. You have to book a hotel, right? You have to book the conference. So what you do in Canada, I am going for a conference. So do you have a conference invitation? Nope. If you don't have it, then you have to first go online, search for some conference date and book, register with them, let them give you an invitation letter. And that is also part of the itinerary because it shows what you are going to do in Canada. You cannot just use your mouth to tell them that I am going for conference. You need that document to prove. So it is also an itinerary, right? All right. Among that, we also have something we call so you can see flight details. You even need a flight details. So your flight details is there, hotel reservation, registration for an event. So that is the conference. So you have to register that event that I want to attend it. So your flight to, if you are booking the flight, you have to reserve it. Please, if you book it and you don't get the visa, probably the airline company might not refund their money to you, depending on their refund policy. So you can talk to them that I need to go and how do we call it? Apply for the visa. So can you reserve it? If they don't reserve it, if they tell you that no, don't worry, it is not compulsory because they say copies of any of the following. So your hotel and even the how do we call it? The conference invitation alone is enough. Is enough, right? So any of the following, they didn't say all of it. So if you are not able to book a flight, it is okay for you. But some people used to say that if you book the flight, it allowed them to give the visa to you. I don't really know how it is because I know a lot of people who applied for Canada visitor visa, and when the visa came, even their event had expired. So I don't know how it works. But one thing I want to tell you that you can leave the flight out, but make sure that as for the hotel, where you will stay and what you are going to do, please, you have to include that. All right. Your bank account, that shows, do you have enough money to support yourself during the stay in Canada? During your stay in Canada. So your bank statement, I told you that it's 6 months. So let's look at it. So at least 6 months details, right? Including the balancing, a whole lot. So I think I have explained Canada bank statement before on TikTok. If you scroll down my videos about 3 months ago, I taught you guys how to build a bank statement. I might give you an overview, but no details because it will take much of our time. So one thing you have to notice, the 6 months, it should be up and running. It shouldn't be like January, nothing was in, February, nothing, March, nothing, April, nothing, then May, June, you go and deposit like 60,000 Ghana cedis. Then you tell them that this is my 6 months bank statement. They are not going to accept. And please, it is not also like you go and deposit the 60,000. For example, 60,000 is an example. Please don't get me wrong. I didn't say you need 60,000. It's an example. So you don't go and deposit 60,000 in January and you leave that money till June and February, nothing, March, nothing, April, nothing, May, nothing, June, nothing. Then you go and print the statement that here is my 6 months. Please, it should be up and running. Money going in, money coming, money going, money coming, right? Just as we do in the UK. I don't know what happens in Ghana because Ghana, we don't spend with our bank account. You only go and withdraw the money. You go to the market, you buy with physical cash. But in the UK, you always purchase with ATM and they are linked to your bank. So even if you buy something £10, it's reflected in the bank. If you buy something £5, it reflects. So your bank statement is always running every day and day out. It is purchasing, adding. When they pay you, it comes to your bank. When you are buying something, it subtract from your bank. So it is always running in the UK. So you realize that today I was on a live with Sister Abna Mercedes, and I told people in the UK that if you're in the UK, it is easier to get visa to a lot of places because of the bank statement. How do we call it? Issues over here is very, very good. Right, the system is working over here. So if you have a good bank statement in the UK, a lot of countries will accept you. But when it comes to Ghana, if the person is a teacher, they'll just go there at the end of the month. I could for the 2,000 Ghana cedis. Now we're used to kwata. Now they are cotton name passy. Ne koto bayira no amane 10 cedis. Omobeka koto nyado a je 5 cedis. Eti osabe ko hobi ma. I just say February. Ya say tuaneka. Now wasako. To those people, no, their bank account is not running. Right? When you go back to Africa, at the end of the month, they go and withdraw every money. They spend it physical cash. So it is not running. But please, if you are there, now most of the mobile money agents, they have linked it to the bank. You can really connect your mobile money to your bank. So every little thing, if you have the aim of traveling, you have to start learning that attitude. Start living like people in the UK, US, Canada. If you want to buy something, remove withdraw the money from the bank through the to your mobile money or something, then you buy, right? Then you buy so that every day at least it will indicate that, oh, Monday you withdrew 50 Ghana cedis, Tuesday 70 Ghana cedis, Wednesday you went to deposit another money in, right? So it will be in and out every day like that. So that is the little advice I have for the bank statement. As for the actual money you need in, I cannot tell you because the government said you have to look at your hotel bills, you have to look at the living expenses there, and also look at how long you'll be staying there. So that is what I will tell you. All right. Now let us go there. Our next thing is employer information. Yes, this is also a recommended. It is not compulsory, but it is recommended. So, are you currently working? If so, then you need some details. So that one, I'm going to break it into two. If you are if you are a government worker or if you are working for a company, if you are an employee, then you have some um, documents to submit. But if you are employer itself, if you are self-employed, then you also have your documents. So you have to note that if you are an employer, then you need a business certificate. Do you have a business certificate of that business that you are doing? Do you have tax return? Do you have tax? If you don't have tax return, if you don't pay tax in Ghana, please go and register tax and let them do calculations for you. Pay tax. Otherwise, the government will not allow you because you are not paying tax to your home country. All right. However, if you are working for a company, then these are the documents you will need. You will need official letter from your employer, and the official letter it should include the date not earlier than 3 months before you apply. That means that they shouldn't give the letter in time. Let's say because you want to go to Canada, then this month, December, you go to your employer. Employer, I want to go to Canada next year. Can you give me a letter? The employer signed the letter for you in December. You keep the letter June next year, you are now making application. No, it is not valid because it has exceeded 3 months. So please wait. When you are about applying for the visa, then you go and to the employer and get the letter so that the date and everything, confirmation that you have a job from your employer, your full name, date of birth, everything should be on the letter. So this letter will be provided from by your employer, and it should contain all these details. So I am teaching you, your employer is not going to Canada, so they don't know. So please tell the employer, I need a letter that should contain all these details. So you are supposed to give these details to the employer that please, the letter that you are giving to me, let it have all these details so that they will give the visa to me. All right. So your full name and date of birth should be on the letter. If you don't note that, some of the employers will give you a letter, will not add your date of birth, and they will not accept it. So tell the employer that they should add your date of birth, the date you started the job, it should be written there. The brief description of your job. So Emmanuel Amponsa started this job, blah blah blah. This date, he's a nurse, and as a nurse, he does medication administration, vital signs monitoring, blah 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 blah. Right? All right. Current salary. So currently he's taking this amount of salary per month. Contact information of that manager. So the manager will give their contact details such as a phone number, email address, employer information, even the company name. So if you are working in a hospital, the hospital name, address, street number, everything should be on the letter. Most of the time, all these documents, these details are on the letterhead. The letterhead, they will see it. All right. And the signature of the employer, whether the manager or the HR, they have to sign. They have to sign and stamp. All right. So please, this is what you have to take from your employer. So please note that not just a normal letter, but a letter with all these information. All right. The next is, are you thinking of allowing somebody to enter your IRCC account? I told you guys that the IRCC account is meant for you alone. That is why the other time when we were learning how to create an IRCC account, it has a lot of security features. So you are the only person who can be able to have access to your IRCC account. I always advise you, don't let agents apply for the visa for you because they will not allow you to enter the IRCC. Every day, the agent will be monitoring and you will be the one asking, please, how far with my visa? Please, are they going to refuse me? And they don't even want to talk to you. This is very sad. You are the one applying the visa. You have even paid the agent. And now the agent is even hiding the information from you. If you are asking something from the employer, it is sorry, from the agent, it is as if you are begging them for a favor. Meanwhile, you have paid them. And the IRCC is for you. You only have access. So the government is saying that even for them to release information to any third party who is not the owner of the IRCC, then you need to fill a form called the form 5475. 5475. Don't confuse with the first form. The first form was from 5476. This form is from 5476. That is when somebody is applying for you. After they have done, because that person will have access to the IRCC, they have to also fill another form from 5475, showing that they can release your personal details to somebody, a designated person. It can be an immigration lawyer, it can be an agent or whoever. If not, they don't have access to go to your IRCC to look at even the status of your visa. But what is happening in Africa? The agents are the one detecting for you, the one traveling. You are begging him, visa no because because why are sebe? Why are you don't even know how to apply IRCC account based on application for and you be apply mo bi ehu bi. Fofofo enti obi na ono no ebi kura wanko university mpo wi SHS na wadi akwantu achi a so ye agent. Eti na obi papa panimu or masters na obi a ono no akọ wi SHS ono ni decide amount. Me case obi akọ SHS nye nipa o. But sometimes we all know how to read and write. Let us go there. Don't let people treat us. No, we do sika now. When agent Ghana nkrofo do say nkra mpokra na akusku adrechire connection bonkwa na yomode because ono no wanya time na ba YouTube wa ba hwehwe videos wa ye bia manafa eti abaye na djuma eti wonso no ne ya you can also learn how to do it na ba wonso wadjuma na ba wonso wadjuma. All right, let us continue. Letter of invitation from a business or company in Canada. It can confirm that your purpose you're visiting is valid. So I told you guys that you need the invitation letter from that how do we call it, that event. So the business or the company, the agency organizing the event, they have to give you a letter of invitation that you have to join them to come to Canada to be part of the conference, to be part of the conference. So without that letter, you will not be able to get the visa. So please, this is the end of the documents. If you have any question pertaining to the documents, you can ask because I am going direct to the application. Please, if you have any question, especially those on YouTube, if you have any question about the documents, you can ask. After the application too, I'll still open the platform for you to ask more questions. But if you want to ask something for me to chip in before we move to the application, I can do so very quickly. I'm just giving a minute. If you have any question, Kinetic Brown say thanks for your education. All right. I hope you guys are comprehending because most of the time I use my local language and my people from Nigeria, Uganda, Zimbabwe, South Africa, they used to comment under my YouTube. When you go under my comment section, they're like, we cannot understand what you are talking, Baba. We want you to help us. So I am doing this in English for everybody to understand. Right? I'm doing this in English for everybody to understand. All right. So if you are here and you don't understand English, you want me to speak Chi, then you have to buy me a cow. You buy me a cow, I'll do another section in Chi. Then I'll tell everybody. All right, you don't have questions about the documents. It means we are good to go. Kinetic Brown says, let's continue. All right, we are good to go. I am sorry on TikTok that I'll not be able to answer questions on TikTok because you are not following the website. All right, so definitely you have a lot of questions. But if you are looking at the website, you can even make screenshots, and that is why you have a lot of questions. So another time when I come TikTok live, then probably you can ask your questions. All right. This is for those on YouTube and Facebook, Twitter. So let us go. So to be able to apply, you have to sign into the IRCC portal. So you can see that without signing in, you cannot apply. So without signing in, you cannot apply. So you have to sign in before you can apply. But I will jump this section and go to after you apply, what next, right? So that the application will be the last point. Okay. So after you apply, what next? After you apply, they will book you for biometric fingerprint. So what happens is if you apply through the IRCC, your IRCC is linked to that email. When you were creating the IRCC account, you linked an email. So you have to wait at least 24 hours or 48 hours. That is 1 day or 2 days. You should get email from the IRCC telling you to um, book biometric date, or they're giving you a biometric date, right? So if you get the biometric date, they have to prepare for the biometric. You have to note that interview is not compulsory. They will only call you interview when they wish to do that. But normally Canada, you don't do interview. You don't do medicals. Now they have included a clause. I'll tell you that, but it is also a may. So if they call you to go and do medicals, probably it is something they said it's a new policy that they want to implement. But however, they are studying it for 2 years before they can implement. So currently it is on their portal that if you're applying for a visitor visa, you may be invited for medicals, but it is not so. A lot of people who go for visitor visa they don't even call them for medicals. But biometric, you will do. When we talk about biometric, that is your fingerprint and your photo. So they want to take a picture of you, and that picture will appear on your visa, right? So your visa, and when the visa comes, it has your picture. So they take a picture for that, and they'll also do your fingerprint. That is the biometric. All right. So after the biometric, so that is it, fingerprint and photo. So you have to book appointment, biometric appointment as soon as possible. All right. So you process your visitor visa. So after your biometric, you have to wait for them to process. So that is what they said, that they may. So everything here, they said they may ask you to go for interview. That is a may. I don't see them calling people to do interview for a visit, but now they have updated their website last month, and they said they can call you for interview. They said they can even ask you to send more information if they feel that the information that you give out is not convincing enough. They can probably call you for additional information, and they can also call you to go and do medicals, right? So they can call you to go and do medicals. They can even call you to go and get a police certificate. But please, it is not compulsory. It's may. They may. All right. So that is that. You can also check your application status using the application status checker, and you have to log in to create an account. You need your unique client identifier, UCI, and your application number to be able to check your status, to be able to track your distance. And you have to get the IRCC account before you can be able to get all those things. All right. If they approve your application, what is going to happen if they approve your application? So the application, they have the online basis application and have the paper based. Most of the time, what happens in Africa is everybody apply online. You just book your biometric and you go and do. So let us focus on that. Let us focus on that. All right. So if you applied online and they want to give the visa to you, if they approve your visa, you are going to get 2 letters in your IRCC account. So without the IRCC account, you will not get the letter. You will not even be able to apply for the visa, yet alone to get the letter. So this IRCC account is very important. Please go and watch that video and create one for yourself. All right. So when you apply the visa after biometric, you are there. You always log into your IRCC account and you monitor it. When it gets to the time that they want to give the visa to you, they will send 2 letters to that account. One of the letter is a letter of instruction to submit your passport. So when you read it, then probably you send your passport, then they put the visa in for you. And the decision letter, they will tell you the reason why they decided, right? They decided. Note, this approval doesn't mean you can travel to Canada. You need to wait until they put the visa in the passport. So the decision letter, they're telling that they've given the visa to you, so bring your passport. Doesn't mean that you can take that letter to Canada. You have to wait, submit your passport, let them put the visa in before you travel to Canada. I hope you guys understand. The other time, people were just making a little controversies on TikTok because they don't go on their website and they think that what they know is what the government knows. No, the visa is not for you, it is for the government. So whatever they are telling you is what you have to follow. So if they approve your application, you get 2 letters. One is to submit your passport, and one is their decision letter. That is, they will tell you that they have approved your visa. All right. If they refuse your visa, what happens? So if you apply online and they refuse your visa, you will get the decision in your IRCC account, and they will explain why they refuse your application. Why they refuse your application. At this point, let me say something in Tree. I'll bring it back to English. Now, no me video be ewo TikTok. Now me catch them say, mo me create IRCC account. Amount for say ye create a ye timi application. Ye dia agent na be yama. Me catch them say fine. Say agent be yama wa bra. Na ebe create account no oko agent na wa na with the IRCC no akoma no. The na me kasa ne say ye refuse o visa na because say enye wo na wo the IRCC account ne ye and as agent no ono an create ye ono an timi kwanti ye refuse wa bi ha won kan kyerɛw ye nkrofo bebre wo ha o ma ye visa be 9 months o mo ntinka e bi kwa ye refuse o mo dadaada but agent no kan kyerɛ wo mo be bi say agent ne sa akosisi on kan kyerɛ because we need chances say wo kom. But if you have your own, so what I said, my fellow Nigerians and the other people, what I said is, even if an agent will do the visa to you, please create an IRCC account. It's your personal account. It's just like you having a Facebook account, a TikTok account, or something. It's your personal account. You keep your passport, a password, you keep your security questions, everything safely. Right? So if you cannot apply for the visa and you go to an agent, tell them, Baba, I want you to apply the visa for me, but this is my IRCC account. Please use my IRCC account. They should be able to accept. If they don't, that means that they are not good people. They don't want you to know whatever will transpire. They should accept it. They should accept it. So that if they accept it, then even if they do the application, you have your passport, your account. You can every day you can enter your account and monitor. Is it at biometric? Is it a decision? Have they given me a refusal letter, or are they asking me to bring your passport? You don't need to call the agent. How far? How far? Why? Why should that happen? Otherwise, every day they'll treat you like shit. Sorry to use that word. You don't need to rely on them, even though if they will do the visa for you. Please, it should be your IRCC account so that you can monitor it. Some people have even got a ban. You've been banned too, like 10 years. But do not tell you because the agent used a fake account, a fake bank statement, and a whole lot. And you ban on all country. So if they ban you, the agent will never tell you. Or they will tell you this Canada, Canada, it takes long. Let's wait. So you will even become frustrated. Then you'll not even call the agent again. Sometimes they'll even get a small fight with you. They'll even find a small issue to fight with you and block you. So meaning for a Bromo agent up to now, how many agent no and kasa because ebi kwa ya bande unti ya can say and on also catch us say or bank statement near that and ya bande wa or reason of the band it will him so be catch us ya bande wa obe catch them say onfa band letter no it will kind of who say fake bank statement no de call ya only ne be konto kwane nti on kan kyerɛ sɛ yabando at the first place the obe kan say ɔmo nya respond that this obe sa bo sɛ wɔ hɔ a na wapɛntɔkwa bi na wako ɛna wokora frɛ from dodo ha adwene no waka kasafo bi akyerɛw na wo so de abufuo na afei ne na ayɛ aka na asɛm de na asɛm kɔ na afei wo sɛ kɔpɛ another agent. Let me tell you, if they refuse your visa or they ban your visa and you are making another application, they ask you a question that have you been refused visa before? Have you gotten a ban before? If you don't indicate it, you will not get the next visa. It is agent no ne na yaka na empo ya refuse ya bando. Na wanfa refusal letter na ma wanfa band e na ma te bia band ne kra twam a wan show a unya visa bia bi nto bo hu se wo sabe kwa another agent ono so be ye na refuse because refusal letter bi wo ho e na wo ye next application wo twa ntro say you refuse that because agent na nka nkyerɛw enti wo be ye san wo be 20 million emfa because wo twa ntro. And it is on their system that you have been refused, and they were expecting you to be honest, to be able to show your refusal letter that, oh, you first did an application and they refused you. So please, the IRCC account is very, very important. whether you do the application yourself or somebody will do it for you. Please get an IRCC account if only you go to Canada. A word to a wise is enough. All right, let us continue on. So after you get the decision, and you have to prepare for your arrival. So preparation of the preparation. How do you prepare? So let us click on that. All right. So if you are when you are preparing for your arrival, you need some documents before you get to Canada. So the documents is if you are taking a child along, I told you. So if you are taking a child along, then a child below 18 years is considered as minor. Then you need a letter that authorizes the child to travel to Canada, right? Sometimes too, you need other documents such as adoption papers or custody decree, right? Depending if the minor travels alone or not. All right. So you were invited to Canada. So if you were invited to Canada, whether it's a conference or a family invite, if somebody invited you or a conference, an event invited you, then you need to also add the invitation letter. Even though you use it during your application, got your visa, please. If you are still going to Canada, carry it with you because they will ask for it at the airport. So if you arrive at the airport, you arrive in Canada, they will look at your valid visa and your travel documents. So they said your valid visa and travel documents don't guarantee that you can enter Canada. This is food for thought. Why did they say so? That your valid visa and your passport don't guarantee that you will enter Canada. Do you really understand that statement? When your passport, when your visa, your sister, it doesn't guarantee that you can enter Canada. Do you understand that? When we started, I made mention that if you are going for a visit, a conference, the aim is to go and come back. So if you get there and they ask you, when you get LMIA, are you going to switch? And you say yes, you have violated, they can ask you to come back. You cannot challenge them that I have my visa because they said the visa do not guarantee you to enter. They have the authority to ask you to enter. So please stick to the aim of the visa. Case closed. Stick to the aim of the visa and be free. Stick to the aim of the visa and be free. All right. So you can enter Canada at the 4 main Canadian airport. That means Canada has 4 main Canadian airport that you can enter, and you can also use vehicle. But vehicle is people in around Canada, like US. If you're in US, probably you go by a car, right? You can use the land port of entry. So if you are using a vehicle, they have something that they'll check. If you are using a plane, then they have things that they'll check. So if you're using a plane, I know all of you are going to use a plane. So you can land in any of the Canadian airport. There are 4 major Canadian airports that you can land. They will pick your fingerprint also there. So your fingerprints will be checked automatically in a primary inspection kiosk. A primary inspection kiosk. All right. The system will also check your identity against information collected when your application was submitted. So the system over there will check your identity. So they'll look at you, they'll be asking you some questions. What is your name? Then they look into their system that is it the same name that you provided? You said, what job are you doing in Ghana? Then you say, I'm a nurse in a hospital. They look into probably agent be na yema or the show say a lawyer. And or the show say one kasa we juma. And on one the business certificate na that yama. I feel could do yes, so ye juma bay was a me a nurse. Yes, by anyone I will say, a company. Now if you wash your because anyone I will hear visa no. You see, this is where all this problem comes from. So please, all this information, you have to know it. If the agent are doing it for you, they have to give you all the information. So, now whatever you are saying does not correspond to whatever you used during the application. They have the right to tell you that they will not allow you to enter. All right. Football says, explain what? You have to note that some people are watching from behind. Okay. YouTube, you can watch from behind. So somebody just came. They are starting from scratch. So they are not following currently. So they are far behind. So I think that he's asking that where I asked you that should I explain further? I think he's answering that question. I feel no where drew. I feel no where drew. And I've seen it, but he will probably get to us. We are somewhere. All right. So when you enter Canada, all right. So if you pass the identity check, then probably you can stay up to 6 months. In some cases, the officer may limit or extend your time in Canada. So I told you that it is the officer who can really decide. You ask questions if you are not sure about something. So if you are not sure about something, please ask question. Ask the officer. The officer, I heard that a visitor visa, I can stay a maximum of 6 months. Why are you saying that 2 months time I should go back to Ghana? Why have you limited my time? Then the officer can really answer that question. You won't be allowed to enter Canada if you give a false or incomplete information. You won't be allowed to enter Canada. Number one, if you give a false information. Number two, if you give incomplete information. And to utantro anasa wunsem no ensisi so a yema wunrem. And find visa because when the contractor said the visa do not guarantee you to enter. It could do airport why yes, if you give a false information, you will not be allowed to enter. Incomplete information, for instance, something that you added during your visa application. If they ask you and you are not able to present it, then it is an incomplete information. Then it means you cannot enter Canada. So that is the reason why I always encourage people to do the application yourself so that you will be able to enter and you'll be able to answer any question they ask. All right. The officer must be convinced that number one, you are eligible for entry. Number two, you will leave Canada at the end of your approval length. Eti obisa say okona LMI switch was ai sabina ne kan say me ba me switch. You didn't convince the employer, the officer. You didn't convince the officer that you leave Canada at the end of your stay. Your stay it has a maximum of 6 months. So the officer can just tell you to come back. Please, whatever the issue is, go by the rules and regulations of the visitor visa, of which the conference is part. And the rules is you have to come back at the end of your stay. So whatever they will ask you, no matter how tricky the question is, tell them, I am going for a conference, and at the end of the conference, I am coming back home. I am coming back home. All right. That is that for the day. Our next section is how to apply for the visa. So we are going to sign into the IRCC account, and after we log in, we are going straight to apply. We are going to straight to apply. So we are going back to how to apply and start the application. So you have to come back here and select business, continue. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift. Oh, why is my Wi-Fi doing that? Why is my Wi-Fi doing that? Oh. Sorry for the delay, Hans. My Wi-Fi is freezing. All right. Yeah, so we are signing in to the IRCC and we are going to apply. All right. Sorry. Back. Yeah, sorry. So we are going to IRCC portal, sign into IRCC portal. All right. So to sign into IRCC portal, as for this one, I taught you the first day. So I'm not teaching. Please, for the sake of those who didn't come, you have to go back and go and learn this. Otherwise, you cannot apply for the visa. All right. So you see, step one, you have to sign in. Sign in. Step two, you complete the online and upload your documents online. Step three, you pay with your credit card. Step four, then you start with the biometric and everything. All right. So today we are going step 1, step 2, up to step 3, where we pay. As for the biometric and the other things, it is about you. You have to get messages in your IRCC and your emails to book your biometric and go and do it. Then they ask you for passport submission. Then you go to Canada. I'll teach you up to step 3, up to where you pay with your credit card for today. That is what you need. All right. So we are going to sign in with to the IRCC portal. All right. So they'll ask for the email address. The other time, I use an email address, cv.tipsandgist. So those guys who came, you remember that? cv.tipsandgist@gmail.com. That was what we used the other time. tipsandgist@gmail.com. And my password, I don't really remember. Let me guess. Is it Abigail at 75 or Abigail 75? Let me see. Hey, is it Abigail 57 or so? I should have written it down. Let me see. Oh, wrong password. How am I going to? Who remember my password? Who remember my password? Kenneth Brown, do you remember the password the other day we used? Or I have to go back on YouTube quickly and watch that video for us to continue. Who remember the password? If not, I will not be able. I've forgotten. I think I did Abigail something. I was supposed to write. I wrote it down, but I cannot find that book. If you remember my password, you can comment it, or let me go on YouTube and watch that video. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me go on YouTube. If somebody remember to, you can just comment. To get messages related to your application. Let me try to open some of the rest. Instructions are the amount. This one. All right. It's in my capital A, small B. Yeah, so I'm watching it, okay? That is Abigail. Abigail 57. All right. So art is not there. All right. Isaac, thank you very much. Yeah, Abigail 57. All right. So I've gotten my password back. Let us go back to what we were doing. Thank you very much, Isaac. Yeah. So capital A, Bigail, Abigail 57. All right. Let's sign in and see if they're going to accept it. Why are they saying there's an issue? cv.tipsandgist@gmail.com. Let me refresh the page. All right. Oh. Hi, Isaac, almost say correct. Sorry, Abigail 57. All right. So, hey, Nanya Abigail 57 ya na maboy. Yeah, 7 characters. Abigail. 7 characters. And I'm 57. It's 9 characters. It automatically. Ana obi a log in ask some password na mame. Somebody ya no mfui. Monya sure say na no me ye no obi a log in. I ask some password yama me. Because I don't know there are two YouTubes are but sure so will be a login as a password. It my reset the password na yeah so I say beche. So in case you find you create an account and you're finding it difficult, what you can do is you can go to forget password, then you can reset your password, right? So you just enter your email address, then they have to send an email. The way to solve as my browser and so there you. There are they be my tough times, sir. Um, so a verification code have been sent to my email. Let me see. May I sure so be a remaster my password. Nipa ne bought the same thing. May I sure so no be try. Nipa ne bought the same thing. Or bo a cv.air tips I just nana or the cause I just up there. Yeah, Abigail 57. That is the exact thing I entered and they said it's a wrong password. I'm still waiting for their email. Refresh your page. Yeah, I'm doing so. But the issue is I'm streaming with a browser to a software. So if no, we cannot forget the password because we have to log in. We have to log in before we can do the application. So if I try to refresh my browser, everything will go off. You will not see me, okay? Everything will go off. That is also another major issue. And I'm still waiting, and the password is also refresh. This thing is not coming. Spam. It's not showing. Wow. Okay, so you know what I will do? Let me just open another IRCC and start afresh. Yeah. Mm. Okay. So all right. So I've been able to enter. I've been able to enter. Okay. So let me share the page. Okay, two-step authentication. All right. So it has come. All right. Okay. Continue. Continue. Voila. All right, so let me share the page. I've been able to enter now. I had to close it and enter again, and I was able to do it. Okay. So now we have to accept. So you see, I've been able to sign in as John Mensa, right? I've been able to sign in as John Mensa now. Yeah. So accept. We have to accept the terms and conditions. Then they ask us the identity validation. You remember the other time, who was your lover? We said tips and gist, right? Tips and gist. Who is your lover? We said tips and gist. So let us enter that identity tips and gist. All right. So this is the portal, right? This is the portal. So we start application. Then we select the visa. Please enter your personal reference code to begin your application. I don't have a personal reference code. Then you go down. All right. So when you are starting a visa application, they ask you personal reference code. If you don't have, then you have to look down. Now, if you have started a visa application, then you want to continue. Or please don't show your password again because so what we are going to do is when you see something like this, the first one, the personal reference code, you only get it when you start an application. So when you start an application, they ask you for a personal reference code. But if it is your first time, you just go down, I don't have a personal reference code, then you are good to go. Okay. So when you say I don't have a personal reference code, then they'll ask you, you have to determine if you are eligible to apply online because not everybody can apply online. Some people, they know that you cannot comprehend the terms and conditions. So if they want to test your mentality, your ability, if you can apply online, if not, they will ask you to apply the paper version, the offline, go to their embassy and submit in a paper form, right? So to apply online, they have to first ask you to check your eligibility. All right. So you click here, visitor visa, study and work. So you click on the visitor visa, study and work. Then they ask you some questions. What do you want? Sorry, what would you like to do in Canada? So you click here. I would like to visit Canada. I would like to visit Canada. Don't forget that conference is also a visitor visa, right? Conference is also a visitor visa. So I would like to visit Canada. Let me try and zoom in. All right, like this. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? I am planning to stay less than 6 months. Don't forget that because your visitor visa a maximum of 6 months. So don't state more than 6 months. All right. Students can enter that. Other people can enter that. But you for a conference, you say less than 6 months. Select the code that matches your passport. So your passport, you have to select Ghana, GHA, Ghana, GHA, yeah, GHA Ghana, and that is the code, right? GHA Ghana. So there will be a list of countries that you look in, you scroll down, you see Ghana, then you select. Then they'll ask you, what is your current country of residence? So where do you stay currently? Not where you come from. So if you are in Dubai, you select United Arab Emirates. If you are in UK, you select United Kingdom because that is where you stay. So anytime you are doing a visa application, they ask you resident, it means where you stay. But they ask citizenship, then you have to indicate or the country where you come from or where you hold passport for, right? Okay. So residence, I will select Ghana. Ghana. So those in Ghana, you know. So if you're in the UK, please select UK. All right. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian or a permanent resident who is older than 18 years? If you don't know anybody, you say no. Oh, sorry. If you don't know anybody, you say no. It's a yes and no, right? Your date of birth. So you have to select your date of birth. Let's say 1980, April 3rd, April 1980. So you just select. It's just a drop down something. So you can just look in and select. All right. I hope you guys are following. Oh, I'm going fast. So we are still doing eligibility. This is not the application. This is for them to know if you are eligible, you are capable of applying online. All right. I cannot share the screen on TikTok as you are requesting because it goes against their policy, right? So you can join us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, any of the platforms. All right. Let's continue on. Next. So find out if you are eligible to apply. Have you lived in Canada as a permanent before, a resident before? No, we have never lived in Canada before. So next, we are still finding out if you are eligible. Are you a lawful resident of US? No, we don't have the US. We are not in US. If you're in US, you have an option where you can move to Canada easily. So that is why they ask, right? But if you're not part of that US, then you have to select no. What is your marital status? Are you married? So it is up to you. If you're married, you can add your wife and your kids, even if they're not going with you, because I told that they form as a family ties or something. However, we are selecting no, right? We are selecting never married, single. Okay. Where do you stay? Province or of destination? Sorry, what is your province of destination? If you are visiting multiple provinces, then you have to. So where are you visiting? Canada has a lot of provinces. So where? Which part of Canada are you going? So you can select probably I'm going to Alberta or New Brunswick, British Columbia, Ontario, or wherever you want to go. So let's say Alberta. So we select Alberta. All right. Then next. So your results. So they said you can only have a visitor visa under 6 months. So if they say under 6 months, it doesn't mean that they'll give you a single entry, but they want to tell you that when you go, you have to stay there for 6 months. So we have been able to check and they have told us that we are qualified, right? We are eligible. And the visitor visa is a short-term visitor visa. That means anytime you enter, you can spend less than 6 months. Okay. But however, they can give you up to 10 years. So you can, if you read, they said a visitor visa costs 100 card. It permits you to travel, blah, 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 and valid up to 10 years. So they can just give it to you. So processing times also vary depending on the number of applications currently being processed. All right. You see that people are not here today. We are doing applications. So you can see that a lot of people are not interested. They always want, hey, do be about Canada more and can we nipa be 500 no more sheme. Now, please, I want to go to Canada. Hey, you want to go to Canada? Oh, we are learning and you don't want to learn how to go to Canada. Wow, we need sika. Once on padishia, open so one me Canada. So it is very sad. You can see the turnout, people here and people on TikTok. You can see that people don't want to learn. Yeah, so media they meet me. That is why of late I don't even reply messages. Be 2 weeks in the call me email mo because me my bra I was a medana me nyang they met me I na me send your time and banner tips document be na me be Canada na. No, I will not have time for that, right? Because you people ye boa mo a omo be boa mo ho no mo na wa ha se nipa na omo hwe me no mo ana I was a me boa omo na ye koye. So continue. Create your personal checklist. So visitor visa, they are asking you a lot. You're almost there. So the checklist is the number of documents that you will need. I already explained to you. So that is what we are going to do. So in order to get a checklist or the number of documents you have to present, they will ask you some questions. So what is the purpose of the visit? Is it for family and friends? Is it for tourism, to attend an interview, or to conduct a business, that is conference and other businesses? So you select to conduct a business, right? That is conference. Then you go to next. Okay. So if you say to conduct a business, they will ask you that, do you want to conduct an international business activities in Ghana, Canada, but you will not enter the Canadian labor market, right? All right. Number 2 is I want to purchase Canadian goods, blah, blah, blah. Number 3 is I want to take or give training with a Canadian corporation that employs me outside Canada. Goods and services received from training. I am representing a foreign business, blah, blah, blah. So it is between the question one, sorry, the answer one and the answer two, depending on how, and even you can even take both, okay, depending on what you are going to do. So the first one is if you are just going for an international business activity like a conference and you don't want to enter Canadian labor market, you can select the first one. Number two is if you are going to take a training, right? Conference, you are going to take a training and somebody is going to give it to you. Or probably if you are the trainer, you are rather going to give a training. You can also select that. But most of the time, conference, you are rather going to take the training. And the training is with a Canadian corporation that employs you outside of Canada. That means the corporation, those people who are going to train you is a Canada company that is outside Canada, right? Probably they have a branch in Ghana that you are working for them and they want you to come to Canada for a training. So the best thing is the first one. I want to conduct an international business activities in Canada, but I will not enter their labor market. All right. And if you are also going to represent a government for a conference or something that is related to the government, then you also select the number 4. The number 4. All right. Then you go to next. Oh, sorry. Why did I select the other two? Oh, I made a mistake to select that. All right, let's continue. So that time, select one, okay? So they're asking you, are you accompanying a family member? No, no, no. So you are yourself, right? You are not the somebody accompanying you. So if you are going with your wife and you are applying for your wife, then probably you have to. So they are saying that are you accompanying a family member that has status in Canada or has a visa, has been approved to come to Canada? So if your husband has a visitor visa and you want to join your husband, then you will select that yes, I am accompanying my husband. But you are the main applicant, so you say no, right? No. All right. Have you committed or been arrested before in your home country? You say no, I've never been arrested. All right. Medical exams. Have you had Canada medical exams before in the last 12 months? So this is for those, if you have applied for a visa and they have refused you, it means probably you did medicals. But if you have not done medicals, you just select no. Okay, I've not done medicals. All right. Do you want to submit an application form for a family member? No. If it is yourself, you select no, because if you select yes, it means you have to fill that form, right? If it is yourself, you say no, it is myself. All right. Are you giving access to somebody for your application? You say no, I'll be appointing myself, right? I'll be appointing myself, because the moment you say yes, it means you have to fill the other form that I taught you, right? You have to give access to that third party to be able to enter your IRCC. But if it is yourself, you said yes, I'll be representing myself. You go to next. Did your representative give a submission letter? So I don't really understand that. This did your so if somebody is representing you, that place, have they given a submission letter? Then that one, so you are not representing anybody, you are representing yourself. So that place you say no. All right, no. Okay. They have updated their website. So sometimes they used to add some things. The other time we were doing that part, that one was not part. They keep updating their website. In the last 10 years, have you done fingerprint to come to Canada before? So that one, you have to select yes or no. So if you've done that before, you say yes. If you've not gone to Canada before, you say no, I've never done a fingerprint or and photo. That is biometric. All right. Find out, sorry, there are fees with your application. Will you be paying the fees? You say yes, I'll be paying the fees. Yes, so yes, I'll be paying my application fee, and that is 100 Canadian dollars. All right. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents using a scanner or a camera? Yes. So I told you all your documents, your bank statement, if you go for it at the bank, it is a hard copy. So you have to scan it to PDF because you are doing online application. So you have to scan it a PDF. So they're asking you that all the hard copy, the documents, your passport, have you scanned it to a soft copy? Your bank statement, have you scanned it to a soft copy? Anything, even the letter that you took from your employer, have you scanned it? So you have to scan it to PDF. All right. So you have to say, yes, I have scanned that document. All right. So yes, I have been able to scan it. All right. Will you be paying application fees online using your MasterCard? You can use credit card, MasterCard, or blah, 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 or Visa, debit card, MasterCard. So you say, yes, I'll be paying it online. Then next, oh, my Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi. All right. So review your answers. You have to review your answers. If you review the answers and something goes wrong, they will tell you that you are not eligible for the visa. So you have to go back and start everything afresh and make corrections, right? So let's say you made a mistake. Like for instance, this place, if I want to edit it, because I'm not representing the government. So here I can just click here and just change that part. Change that part because I'm not representing the government. So I can just say update information, right? Yes. So I've been able to change it. So you have to go through because if something is wrong, they can say you are not eligible to apply. We are still under the eligibility requirements. So continue. Let's see if they will allow us. So submit your application. So to submit, they've allowed us to go. So that means everything is intact. Everything is intact. To submit your application, you have to use the back and forward. So this is the back and forward is down here. So this is the continue. After that, you'll be seeing back forward, back forward. So you see forward here, backwards here. That is what you have to use. What they are telling you is you shouldn't use the back of your browser, but use the back on their portal. Okay. Step one, you must log into your own account. Step two, you should select exit button. If your information is safe, you can continue application anytime you come back and continue. All right. You have 60 days to submit application online. So let's say that if you start an application, you can go back another time, continue. But after 60 days, if you don't save it and submit, they will delete it, right? It will automatically be deleted. All right. Step three, that is your forms must be electronic. I told you that you have to scan it to a PDF. All right. You do not need to sign your application form by hand if you are submitting it online, right? So you can use your digital signature. You can use digital signature. One file must be allowed per document type. For example, if you are asked to provide multiple pages of your passport, you must scan all the pages as one file. So what this is saying that if you have a travel history, let's say you have a visa to UK, you've been to Dubai before, you've been to Australia before. If you are scanning all those travel history, don't combine them and put them as one PDF that this is my travel history. No, they said multiple pages. Okay, so per documents, right? So that is what you are supposed to do. All right. So multiple pages of your passport, you must scan them. Sorry, you must scan them and put it as one file. All right. So it was a misinterpretation. So if they ask you your passport, all the multiple pages, you should scan everything and use it as one file, but not separate files. But other documents like bank statement, you shouldn't add it. It should be another document. Other like travel itinerary should be a separate. If you book a hotel, it should be separate document. Don't add everything as one. No, it should be multiple. So one document, one file per document, one file per document, right? But as for your passport, you have to add them and save it as one file. All right. So you are required to upload every requested documents. All right. So all these I told you. So you can scan it into a PDF. They accept PDF. They accept a picture like JPG or a document, Microsoft Word. But I always advise you use the PDF because it doesn't change no matter the system that they use. The format do not change. All right. So if you want to recreate the PDF to the file must not be bigger than 4 MB. So if you do a PDF file and it is bigger than 4 MB, you have to compress it. So you can use a software to compress your PDF. You have PDF compressor. You can compress it to be less than 4 MB so that you'll be able to upload. All right, let us go. Let us go. All these you can read it during your application and how to apply, how to pay. You have to also pay electronically using your MasterCard. They accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and certain prepaid credit card. All right. Once you pay your fee, you receive a payment confirmation. And when your passport payment has been completed, you receive a message of, all right, I told you that you should print this page for your record. Continue. So document checklist. This is what they are saying. So we are starting the application now. Please, we are starting the application now. This is the actual application. This is the actual application. How do we sign digitally? All right. So sometimes with digital signature, if they have a software, so they can give you a link where they can let you scan a link. So you use your mobile phone to scan that that is it a scan code. So they have a barcode. So you scan it, it comes to your mobile phone. Then you use your hand to sign your signature. After that, you submit it. You click submit. It gets there. Another way to you can do is you can edit your picture, your signature. You can write it, or you can use Photoshop to edit it. Then you go and paste it over there. We have a lot of ways of scanning digitally. So depending on, because I have been doing a lot of applications, especially job application, and even the company I work with, the UK. Okay, every shift after every week, the number of shifts that I go, I have to sign, and I sign digitally. So they have a software. So it comes to my mobile phone, and I sign my signature. I use my my hand to sign my signature. I draw it and I send it digitally. So that is also a form of a digital signature. All right. Let us continue on. Do you still have issues? We are starting the application. So the first section was I did explanation of the visitor visa, the conference and everything, the documents. Our second section, we log into the IRCC, we did the eligibility, and now we are eligible. So our third section, that is our last section, we are going to do the application. And now the application, we are almost done. So if you don't have any issue, please comment before we continue on. All right, so the documents you will need, the first one is the form 5257. That is the actual application form for visitor visa, and the conference is part. So it's one visa. So what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to go and download this. Go and download the form 5257. Later, I'll give you the link to download. Okay, I will embed it in the caption. I have downloaded them on my laptop, so I'll give you the link to download. All right, you have to download this form. Then you have to fill it on your laptop. After filling it on your laptop, then you upload it. You don't have to use pen and paper to fill it. Please, this is online. And the filling too must be done with Adobe Acrobat. Not any, you can't use a mobile phone. You can't use your laptop that you have not installed Adobe Acrobat. So I had to install Adobe Acrobat on this laptop because of Canada visa. Because any PDF reader cannot fill that form. You need Adobe Acrobat to fill that form. So you have to note. If you download a form, a lot of people say they download the form, it is not opening. Now people are complaining. If you go to Jora.com, Quora questions, people are saying Canada conference. I downloaded the form, I cannot, and I'm just laughing. I say, hey, if you white people are struggling, the solution is Adobe Acrobat. I think this one I have to do a video on TikTok to update you guys. Without Adobe Acrobat, you cannot fill it. If you open it, will tell you that error, fire error. So people are complaining that Canada form application form, they are not able to download the actual one. The secret is use Adobe Acrobat. All right. That is first document you need. And they're asking for travel history. It is required. So you have to, if you don't have it, what you're supposed to do, you have to leave this page. Okay, this is supporting documents. It is required. So required. If you don't have it, leave that part. Then you submit. But if you don't submit this one, you cannot continue the compulsory part. This one, the top one, you cannot. Right? Okay. Sorry, this is the optional documents. All these places are compulsory. Now, travel history, if you have not traveled before, what you're supposed to do is to give an empty passport, right? So you open your passport, empty page, then you upload that documents. They'll get understanding that you've never traveled before. It also shows that you've never traveled before. So you have to give an empty passport space, right? Then you upload that documents. Then your passport to the biodata, you have to upload it. Then a representative of the form 5476, that one too, if you have not if you did it yourself, then you have to upload a blank document. You don't have to fill it, right? Then business activities required. So that is the conference that you are going. You have to also upload it. Digital photograph. So Canadian photograph. You have to a Canadian one Canadian photograph. Then you have to also upload it. Then the purpose of travel. That is your travel itinerary, the letter of explanation. Then you also have to upload. Then family information, this is also required. So this one, you have to download this form. It's compulsory. Whether somebody will be doing for you or not, this family information is compulsory because this is different. The other one was Form 5475. That is when a family member is doing for you, or yeah, a 5476. That is when a family member is doing for you. But because you are doing yourself, you do it blank. But this one is compulsory. This is family information, which states these are some of the information you will need on a family information. They'll ask you your name, your spouse, the name of your spouse, the name of your parents, your children, your brothers and sisters, a whole lot. So you have to fill that form and submit. It helps them. You're going for a visit, you're going for a conference. Anything can happen. So if something happened to you, they can just track, they can just trace way back to your home country because you'll be providing them with telephone numbers and a whole lot on that form so that they can contact your family members for you. So it's compulsory. Other supporting documents is application not provided. This is optional. Application for a temporary resident visa made outside is not necessary. And also a client information is also not necessary. So you can leave that part. So let us go here to fill this form, the form 5275, the application form. Form 5275 application form. So when you download the form, okay, when you download, the browser is reading with the normal PDF reader, right? But what they are saying that they said this form contains a field that you can fill using Adobe Acrobat app. So you need to download the Adobe Acrobat app. So this is what you see. This is why what people are complaining that the form cannot open. They cannot fill it. They download it and it's like this. But they are telling you that you need the Adobe Acrobat app. So without the app, you cannot. Without the app, you cannot. So please note that. Right. So I am going straight to on my desktop to be able to open the Adobe Acrobat on my desktop. So I click on the desktop here because I've installed it on my desktop. Open file in desktop. Why isn't it opening? All right. So how do I even present this thing? Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen. Let me remove this one. I should be able to share another screen. How do I share? Present. Extra share screen. Stop screen sharing. Share screen. Window. Adobe Acrobat. Okay, so I believe you guys can see it now, right? All right, so I've been able to open using the Adobe Acrobat app, the Adobe Acrobat app. So please install that app on your laptop before you can open the form. So this is how the form is. Without the Adobe Acrobat app, you cannot, right? So I have opened the form with the Adobe Acrobat and I'm projecting the Adobe Acrobat for you guys to see. All right, so let me go back. Let me try and zoom for you to see, close this. All right. Okay, so you can see Government of Canada it is protected when completed, right? All right. And what you can see is a signature panel. So this is where you sign. So you click here, then you sign. So this is the signature panel. Somebody asks for the digital signature. You click the signature panel later, okay, after you are done. All right. So validate, clear form. So after you are done with everything, you have to validate. If you do anything after you have done, okay, you are done filling everything, then you have to validate. If you make a mistake, you can clear section, you can clear the form. Okay, either you delete it or you can clear the whole form. So application for a visitor visa, if you need more section, you have to print out additional. All right. So UCI, what is a UCI? UCI, I've forgotten the is it unique confirmation identity. Is it unique something? Let me see. Unique client identification. UCI, unique client identification. So UCI, per the laws of UCI, if you don't have, it's a 4-digit code. If you don't have it, if you have never applied visa before, you don't have it. So you have to leave that place blank. Okay, leave it blank. All right. That is why there's no asterisk over here. But this one, you can see that there's asterisk. Anytime you are applying for a visa and you see this asterisk, it means it's compulsory. You have to fill that part. But the UCI is optional. So you have to leave that place blank. So I want service in English. You have to select the language. The visa request, a visitor visa. All right. Let me monitor from YouTube because I am now streaming from an app, the Adobe, so I don't know what is going on YouTube. Let me see if everything is that you guys are able to see. All right, all right. So your full name, you are to enter your full name over here. So the full name is family names plus other given names. So the family name, I always tell you that enter your surname. And you can use cap locks, okay, capital letters. So Mensa, then the given name is John. If your name 4, you have other first names before the surname, then please just enter all the given names. So let's say John John Kweku Mensa. You just enter the John Kweku at the given names, and your family name will be Mensa, right? That is your surname. All right. Have you ever used other names, nicknames such as Elia or something? No. If no, I've never used any other name. Then you say no. If your name have changed, let's say you are a lady, you are married, and now your surname has changed, then probably you have to enter that one over there, right? So I would say no, I have never used a name, and automatically it becomes blank. The moment I click on it, it becomes blank. All right. Then sex. They're asking if you are a male or a female. So you select I am a male because John Mensa is a male. All right. Date of birth, you have to select the year is 4 letters. So you just type 1980, then the month, let's say July, then the day we say 14th. That is how it is. So if you are 1st July, the day will be 01 because you are supposed to enter 2 digits. So if you are a single number, like 5th July, you say 05, then the July to be 07, right? 07 for the month. If you are February, it will be 02 for the February. So let's say you are 1st February, it will be 0102. That is 1st February. Okay, the city, you have to enter. So let's say the city is Ejuso. Ejuso, that is the city. The country, you have to select your country. So you scroll down and you are going to see Ghana over there. Ghana. You can even start typing and it will come. All right, so this is Ghana. You select the country, Ghana. Citizenship, that one to enter the country. Sorry, G. Then Ghana will come. So you have citizenship for Ghana. You select Ghana. All right. So number 7, country of residence. Where do you stay? Are you currently in Ghana or you have moved out of Ghana? So the first one is the details on your passport. So your hometown, your countries and everything, the details on your passport. So where do you stay? If you stay in Ghana, that one you do it. If you stay in any other country, you select that, right? You can see from to. from to. That place will be optional. It's not compulsory, but I'll teach you how to do that. So let's say if you are in Ghana, you stay in Ghana currently, right? So Ghana, Ghana, they'll ask you, what is your status in Ghana? If you hold citizenship, I am a citizen, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm not a visitor over there. So you select Ghanaian, automatically you can see that the from and the to, that place will be blank. That means they don't need you to write anything over there. But let's say you are a Ghanaian, but currently in Dubai, so United Arab Emirates, you. Why is Dubai not part? Okay, I have to go down. Yeah, United Arab Emirates. Now they ask you, are you a visitor over there? Are you a worker, a student, other reasons? So let's say you are a worker over there. Then they'll ask you their passport, your visa in Dubai. When did they start? When is it going to end? So that place it's mandatory that you use the from and the to. Let's say you are in the UK, you select UK. It's the same thing. You are going to fill the visa. So if you are in the UK, United Kingdom, you select United Kingdom. It's UK part. I'm not seeing it, United Kingdom. Probably they will do it England. So let me see. Let me go up and see if there is England over there. England is England part, because I cannot see UK over there. Okay, so you can see England. If you are in the UK, you select England. If you are in Northern Ireland, you select Northern Ireland. If you are in Wales, they consider England as a separate country. So you have to select England. All right, if only you are in England. So what visa do you hold in the UK? Is it a visitor visa, a work visa, a student visa, permanent resident, that is indefinite, or citizenship? Are you a citizen? So you select. So if you're a student, you select student. You are a worker, you select worker, a whole lot, right? So if you're a worker dependent, you have to select a work other, right? Other, that is a dependent that one to select. All right. So if you're a worker, you select. So your status over there, then you select. Okay. Permanent resident, you select that one, no from to, because you're permanent. Citizenship, you select no from to. So that is that. So I am maintaining the Ghana. Let us maintain Ghana over there. Over there. Okay, so John Mensah is a citizen of Ghana. I want everybody from any part of the world to be able to understand it. That is why I am not restricting, because people will get there and they'll get confused. If you use a single example, people are going to get confused. Please, if you are watching and you don't see it clear, your screen is blur, you have to tap on the video and change your resolution to a high quality. So you change your resolution. So the other time I showed you how to do that. So click on the screen at the top left corner. You are going to see settings. Then check your resolution. Change it to 1080 pixels or 720. You are going to see it clear. Having a proper data, please. That is what you're supposed to do. Then you see it clear. All right. Then question number 8, they are asking previous countries. Have you stayed in any other country before? So if you select no, all this place will be blank. You can see that. If you select yes, probably I am in Ghana now, but I've been to Dubai before. Then you select that country from to. Then you fill that part. Okay, so that place too, you can be able. So that is, have you lived in any other country more than 6 months? They have to. Okay, so I've been in Dubai, I've been in Qatar, I've been in UK. So that place, you select every part. All right. So if you have not been in any other country, you say, no, I've not been to any other country. Number 9, your country or territory where you are applying. All right. So same as current country of residence. So is it where you are applying? Is it where you live currently? You say yes. Okay. So where I live in the UK, and that is where I am applying from. I live in Ghana, and that is where I am applying from. So that is question number 9. They are asking you that where you are applying from, is that the same country where you stay? You say yes, that is where I stay. Okay, automatically that place will be blank. All right. Number 10, your current marital status. Are you married, single, right? So you just select, I am single or I am married. So if you're married, then you have to provide the date where date of marriage, right? The date on your marriage certificate. So you have to note that. So please, if you're in Ghana, I know most of the men you are married, but you don't have marriage certificate, please. Then you have to select single, otherwise, because there's nothing to show that you are married. And somebody says, I have changed the settings, but still not clear. So what you have to do is still go back and you can see that it has changed to 144 pesos. That means the data that you're using, probably MTN network, is not good. So YouTube is trying to compensate. So if you change it to high quality and it's still not clear, that means it has gotten back to that 144. And most of the people in Ghana, you used to experience that because you are using data, probably the network is not good, right? So please, you have to do that. You have to see the form and you have to be able to apply because it's an online application that we are doing. All right. So we are done with question number 10. This one, they say for office use only. So you don't touch that place, right? You don't touch that place. So that is when you go down, part 2, they said applicant Mensa.j, date of birth is also here, right? Number 11, they're asking you, have you previously been married before? You say, no, I have not been married before. And that place goes blank. This is for those who are using divorce certificate. If you are divorced, if you select divorce here, because the marital status, divorce is also an option. So that place here, you have to come and state that, yes, I've been married before. Then you state the wife, your wife and everything. So type of marriage from to. So when did you get married and when did you divorce? And the date of birth is for that wife or that husband, your spouse. All right. Mother tongue. So the mother tongue, please, we have Fanti, we have Frafra, we have Akan, we have Eve, we have Ga, we have Ga. So Canada is able to recognize all Ghanaian languages. So Nigeria, to you set your local language, if it's part, Ghana languages, I can see Frafra, I can see Akan, that is for tree. So we don't have Bono, we don't have tree, we don't have, you are all Akan. Apart from Akan, we have Fanti. We have Fanti also there. Fanti is Akan, but they have Fanti there. I don't really understand, but they don't have Bono inside. We have let me check whether they've added Bono. I cannot say currently. Probably they've added Bono. But the other time I checked, I didn't see that. Let me see. Okay, so they don't have Bono inside, but they have Fanti inside, and they have Akan. They don't have Chi inside, so you have to select. You have to select Eve. If you are Eve, you have to select Eve. So let me say Eve E, Eve, Eve, Eve. So you can see Eve. I've been able to select Eve, right? Eve. So you can see that if you are a Fanti, you click on F, it takes you to the F section. Then you scroll through, you can see Fanti over there, Fanti, Fanti. You select Fanti. Akan is for those people, the Ashantis, the Bonos. Then you select Akan. If you are a Ga, you select G, you click on G, you can see Ga. Ga is also there. All right, let me see Dagomba. If I'll see, okay, so there's Dangbe. Ga, is it okay? That's Dangbe, right? Dangbe is also there. That is not Dagomba. That is Ga Dangbe. All right, Dangbe. So I don't see Dagomba there. So I don't know if you also choose any other country, any other language, then probably you can choose. All right. So if your language is not part, don't let this one be an issue. Just select any language that you feel like to choose. So let me say Akan, right? Akan. All right. Are you able to communicate in English or French? Then you say yes, English or French. Please, the native language is compulsory. You can see the asterisks over here. It's compulsory. So don't say that you people, you didn't add my language, so I'll not pick it. It is compulsory. You have to, right? You have to. So select. Okay. Your passport number. Please, if your passport number is wrong, they are not going to accept it. So you have to enter a valid passport number. The other time, I tried to hide my passport number, and it didn't allow me. All right. So I've entered my passport number. I just took my passport and I've entered my passport number. Country of territory. So which country gave you the passport? You say Ghana. Ghana. You look for Ghana. GHA, Ghana, GHA. Date of issue is on your passport. So you just look at it. So you can just scroll in. I don't know if it pops up. Okay. So if you click on the year, you can just see the year 2021. Then you click on the month, April. Then you click on the day, 28th. Okay. Expiry date, you click on it. So either you type, so it's either you type over there. So you can click here and just type. Okay, you can just type. Cannot type, there's an option over here. You click on it, the calendar will just open. Then you'll be able to select the year of expiry. That is 2031. So I just click on the year, then I go and look for 2031. I click 2031. The month will be April and the day will be 27th. All right. So I've been able to enter my issuing date and the expiry date of my passport. Number 6 of part 2. This is part 2. Right? Number 6 of the part 2. For this trip, will you use the passport issued by Ministry of Affairs of Taiwan? No. So okay, you can see that place is even blank. All right. For this trip, will you use a national Israel? You can see that place is also a blank. So the moment I selected Ghana, all those places are blank. All right, all those places are blank now. Okay. Number national identity documents. Do you have a national identity document? If yes, yes. If no, no. So if you click no, that place will be blank. If yes, that place will be. So national identity documents, you look at if it's a Ghana card. So identity document is an ID card, right? So if it's your Ghana card, you just select and you do it. You enter it over there. If you don't have a Ghana card, just say no, I don't have a Ghana card. I want to use 2 identity documents because it helped them to really know who you are. Where is my Ghana card? All right. So your ID card, you look at, I think Nigeria, you also have ECOWAS card, right? So we call it a Ghana card, but actually it's ECOWAS card. So you type the number over there. So I just inputted some numbers because I'm getting tired. They said it's incorrect. So you can see if you enter a wrong thing, they will not allow you. They will tell you it's incorrect. So are they trying to tell me that I should enter my correct Ghana card over there? What are they trying to tell me? Why is it incorrect? GHA hyphen. I should remove the hyphen. They say I should use what? You put it in. Let me take no, right? Let us click no because my Ghana card is not helping. It's not helping. All right. Somebody is saying that this video, they have to watch it again. So what I'm going to do is, because when I change my passport number, it will not allow me. We are using Adobe Acrobat, and the Adobe Acrobat is linked. So you can see certified by, if you look on top there, they've written certified by Immigration, Refugee Citizenship Canada. It is linked. So anything you enter that is wrong, they are able to identify and they'll click, it will just come wrong. So if I enter a fake passport number, it will just ignore it. It will tell me that it's fake. So you have to note. That is why they don't want you to fill the form using any web browser, but Adobe Acrobat, so that they can monitor it on their software. Okay, so this thing that I am doing, they are monitoring. So anything that I do, it is able to pop up. You can see that if you are filling any form, if you make a mistake, you don't even know. But this one is able to pop up. Even though I'm not on their website, I've downloaded it on my laptop and I'm using Adobe to open. It's still able to identify whether it is wrong or correct. So that is the power of the Canadian application form. All right. So I clicked no because my Ghana card is giving me issues. So the next one, are you lawful permanent resident of the United States? You said no, right? No, that place will be, the remaining one will become blank. Then contact information. So PO box, you can see that some places have the asterisks, other places do not have. So if these places are a lot, you can just look through and just write there, give information where they is needed, right? So let's say the city is Ejuso, they need Ejuso because it's asterisk. Street name, I can say uh which part of Ejuso? Krapa Street, right? Krapa. Okay. Street number, I can say 34 or 33, apartment unit. All these are, you can enter them, but it's not necessary. PO box, if you have a PO box, you can just say box 87. You can also leave that place. It's not compulsory, right? There's no way they will ship something to you. Country or territory is compulsory. So Ghana. All right. The moment you select Ghana, you see they don't ask you province or state because Ghana do not have a province or state, but Ghana has a district and a postal code. So postal code 00233. And the district will definitely be a just so municipal. All right. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow or another day, we will have a section how to fill the application form alone. Okay. How to fill this form alone so that it will be a revision, right? The reason why I'm adding it, if we do separate videos, people will not be able to find the separate videos. I know you guys are tired. Me, actually, I am tired because I've done this live more than 2 hours because a conference visa has a lot of information, right? We have done overview, we have done documentation, we are now doing application. So we were supposed to even use 3 days, do it little by little, but because it's a video and you can watch it if you have time, you can be skipping some, right? Okay, but I will do another section how to fill the application form. All right, so don't worry. Residential address, same as mailing address. All right, you say yes, it's same as mailing address. That means where you enter the PO box, the apartment, wherever is the same as your mailing address. So this one you can enter your flat name. So maybe block 16, right? Block 16 or apartment 4 or anything, right? You can just write your apartment number or whatever. Your cell phone number, is it a Canadian number or any other number? You say other, right? Country code, the country, is it a residence phone, cellular, business? You say cellular, mobile phone, right? Cellular. Country code, you say 233. Don't add a plus, right? 233. If you add a plus, it will reject it. So just say 233. That is the country code. So if you are 0547, now the 0 is the 233. You just say 547 41, blah, 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 right? You just enter. All right. If it's wrong, they'll tell you that it is wrong. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Now, alternate number. Do you have any other telephone number? If you have it, you have to do the same. If you don't have it, then you can leave that place because that place is not compulsory. You can see that this place has asterisk, but this place has not. It's not having, right? So it is not compulsory. So you can leave that part. So please, if you are filling the form, consider those places with the asterisk, right? It's very necessary. All right. Fax. Are you faxing something? Canadian, US, country code. That place is also not having the asterisk. So you can leave that place. Email address is not also compulsory. However, you can enter it. You can enter it if you want it. Why email address? Why are you saying that I've entered the wrong thing? tipsandjust@gmail.com. I cannot add a dot. I'm not done and you're saying that I've entered the wrong thing. These people. All right. So that is that I've been able to enter cv.tipsandjust@gmail.com. page 3, the purpose of visit. The purpose of visit, is it for business, tourism, short term, whatever? So we will always select business for business. All right. How long do you want to stay? So please, this place, be extra careful. It should be the same date for your bookings of your plane, for your bookings of your conference date, for the book, right? Because your conference can be in November and you are going December. So please use the same date for all the itineraries, right? So let's say we want to go 1st of January 2024. We are going to spend 7 days to, so 1st of January to 7th of January, right? The funds, how much do you think you are taking? How much is it in your bank account? So the money you have in your bank account, please convert it to Canadian dollars. So if you have 30,000 Ghana cedis, 30,000 Ghana cedis is like 3,000 something something Canadian dollars, right? If you have 40,000, it will be more than 4,000 Canadian dollars. So let's say approximately 4,000 Canadian dollars or 5,000 or 6,000. I don't know the amount you have. So you can just write 5,000 Canadian dollars. All right. Name the address, relationship you'll be visiting. So the person you'll be visiting, the address, person or institution. So if it's this is a conference, so you are just going to type the name of that conference. Okay, so let's say it is a Canadian fanfare. So the institution will be, so you look at, this is not even the name of the conference, but the name of that the institution organizing the program, right? They are responsible for hosting you. So if the institution is from maybe, which one I should use, because we have not booked a conference yet. Um, I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing a name. So let's all guess a name. But you have to book a conference, and please enter your name of the conference company over there. So let's say Canada, Canada. Um, travels travels. Okay, so that is the name of the agency organizing the conference. Relationship, to me, you just leave that place because it's not compulsory. If it is your is a human being and it is your sister or your brother, then you have to indicate. Okay, this form can also be used for, it's one form that you can all, okay, you can use for your conference, your visit. So you are learning it one for all, right? So the relationship, you just indicate if it's your husband that you're going to visit. But this is a conference, so you leave that part. Okay, address in Canada. Where are you going? Which part of Canada? Have to indicate the address, right? So this is also another issue. I don't know any address in Canada. Let me say quickly. Let me go and see. Enter a hotel in Canada and let us use the address to do for learning sake. But please, the event, if you if you book an event, the address wherever the event will take place is over there, right? The address in Canada is over there. So I just need an address in Canada for us to continue. Okay. I've seen an address 30 Carlton Street. So please, your event, this is a place of a hotel. So I'm using that as where maybe probably that is where the conference will take place, at their conference room. So Carlton Street, 30 Carlton Street, the village. Toronto, M5B 2E M5B 2E9, then Canada. All right, so this is the address, right? I've gotten an address. So this is for studies pep. You have to do that. Okay, relationship to you. I told you that you have to leave that place. Okay, so this is 1 and 2. So you leave that place. Now, education. Have you had a post-secondary education, including university, colleges, apprenticeship? If you've had it before, you say yes. Then you can. Okay, they didn't indicate if it's Canada, so you can just say yes, I have. Then automatically you start you start writing it. Okay, so 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So if yes, give a full details of your highest level of education, post-secondary education. So let's say I graduated SHS 2013, field of study, general science. School facility, Konongo Dumase. Please, they said from secondary school. So if you don't have a secondary school certificate, just leave that place blank. Just say no, okay? This is for those who have a or those who went to senior high school. Okay, so from senior high school, okay, all right. So your highest, okay. If you don't have it, if you went to JHS or you don't have it, just say no and continue. Okay, all right. So me, my highest is not Kongo Dumase, but I'm just using that as an example, right? So that most of you guys with SHS can know it. All right. So you can use your university to do it, right? Okay. So this is from 2010, let's say February, April to 2013, June, right? Then the city will be Konongo. Then the country will be Ghana. Okay, so the country will be Ghana. All right, employment history. Give details of your employment within the last 10 years. Okay, so do leave gaps if you are retired. Okay, so are you employed? So from the first one is compulsory, okay, but the second and the third one is optional. So if you've worked for just one company, because you going to Canada, you have to state that you have a work that you're doing, right? That is why you're going for a reference letter. So the company that you're working, company number 1, from 2. So if you have a CV, you can use what is on your CV to do. So from 2. So probably I'm currently working with that company. So the 2 will be 2023, and the month will be December, because currently I am working with them. Current activity or occupation, if I am a nurse, I will just say I am a nurse, right? The company name, I'll just enter something over there. Let's say this my previous hospital in Ghana, Tachiman Holy Family Hospital. All right. Then 2. Sorry, this is from, sorry. So let's say I started January 2020. It used to convince me. 2. So 2, I'm currently there. So 2, 2023, December. All right. So the city is Techiman. Techiman. The country is Ghana. All right. So Ghana is not having a province or a state. So the moment you enter Ghana, it goes off. So for the sake of time, I'll just use one company. So if you've worked with more companies, then please, you have to enter them. But you shouldn't leave gap. You people, you have problem. If you use a lot of companies, don't leave gap. For instance, you can't say that I work from this company 2018 to 2019. Then you jump to 2020. So between the 2019 to 2020, what were you doing? They don't like that. That is why I always advise you, if you are doing a CV to Canada, you don't leave gap. You try and close all the gap. I always advise you. You see that now you're applying for a visa and they are even telling you that you don't leave gap over there. So your next job should be exactly from this job started from where? January 2020. So your next job should end December 2019. Probably from something 2017 to December 2019. You shouldn't leave gap so that they'll know that okay, so from December 2019, January 2020, you came to this first company, right? So that is how it is supposed to be. But the first one is compulsory, the other ones are optional. So you can do it as you want. All right. Page 4 or 5. Page 4 or 5. So the pages are 5. We are page number 4, page 4 or 5. Within the past 2 years, have you or your family member ever had tuberculosis before? No. Do you have any physical mental disorder? No, we don't have any physical mental disorder. If yes, then you have to write. Okay, so if your family member or yourself have tuberculosis, you can just say for the past 2 years, yeah, my auntie got tuberculosis. She got treated. Or I have a physical disorder. I have a left eye problem. Or my leg, I have issues with my leg. I use crutches or something. So if you have a disability, then you have to write. All right. Number 2, have you ever remained beyond your validity of status when you came to Canada? So we have never gone to Canada. So we say no. All right. So attended school without authorization, or you have worked without authorization in Canada, you say no, I don't have anything. Otherwise, they are not going to give the visa to you. Have you been refused where a visa before, denial at entry, or ordered to leave Canada before? You say no. But if you have applied for a visa and they have refused you, then you have to say yes. You have to say yes, right? You have to say yes and give the reason why you said yes. So you have to say yes. Question 2A. Maybe if it is the first one, you say yes. Question 2A. I came to Canada and I stayed beyond my time. Question 2B. Have you been a visa before? Probably question 2B. Yes, I applied and they refused me because of my financial problem or something. Or I came to the airport and they deny me entry, right? But if it is a no, you say no. Have you previously applied to enter Canada? I applied to enter or remain Canada before? If yes, you say yes. If no, you say no. So you just say no, I have never applied to come to Canada before. All right. Have you ever committed an offense like criminal convictions? You said no. No, I don't have any criminal convictions. If yes, you just state, I went to steal plantain and they arrested me to the police station. You just type it over there. So you said no if you don't have any criminal convictions. Number 4, did you serve in the military before? Have you served in your military before? If yes, you say yes, I have served in the military in my home country, right? So this is for the military, or so it's military, civil defense, security, police force. So even if it was part of your national service, once it's in the military or police or security organization, you have to say yes. I'm not saying security guard, or not watchman. No, security organization like fire service, immigration, those security services, right? Yes. All right. So here you say no, I am not part. Okay. Are you or have you been a member of an associated political party before? Right. So if you are a political party who has engaged in violence, then you say yes, but I'm not sure that you are a part. Right. Have you witnessed, participated in the ill treatment of prisoners? Have you gone to prisoners or something, prison home, witnessed or participated in the ill treatment? That means you treated them bad, right? Or civilians. Have you bullied somebody before? No, I have never bullied anybody before. So you say no. No, okay, I've never bullied anybody before. All right. So if there is a yes to question 3 to 6, then you to fill the form 5257. All right, you have to note that. Signature. All right. So Citizens for Immigration Canada would like to contact you. Do you consent to be contacted for future in the future? Yes. All right. Yes. All right. So this is where you enter the signature. So I consent, I declare, blah, blah, blah. So signature, if you don't have the digital signature, then you can just enter your full name as a digital signature. I always tell you this, that your full name is also a digital signature, right? So I forgot, I was writing my actual name. Let me use John Mensah. I've forgotten that I'm applying for John Mensah. So John Mensah is the full name, right? All right. So the date you have to select that today sees. Okay. So this date is the date of you filling the application form. Then you have to click validate. If you click validate and there's something wrong with it, they will circle that place. That place will become red, right? That means you see, the following fields must contain a value 1D, 1D. So there's a part. So I have to go back. 1D, 1D. They said 1D. Where is 1D? Is it part one or part two? Okay, this place. All right. So we left a place. So you see that it was not, it didn't allow us to validate, right? So I have to validate. Have you taken a designated test agency proficiency in English or French? No, I have never taken a test. Okay. So you can see that if you forget anything, it will not allow you to validate. Okay. And this place to, within the last 2 years, have you and your family? Oh, so no, no. Why did I select yes, yes? I forgot. Okay. All right. So that is how it is. So you have to scroll down before you validate again. Okay. So validation completed. Please print the entire application and now you can. Okay. So validation is now complete. Complete. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to print it. So I just click here, print on my laptop. Then I print to a PDF. So print to a PDF. Then I save it on my machine. All right. So print. All right. So the title, I would say Canada visa application. You are not seeing it because it's a pop-up menu. Canada visa application. All right. I will save it. So it is printing. All right. So at this point, guys, I am done. All right. I am done. The page has frozen. Good evening. We can't see. That was 8:47. All right. So the time that the page froze was when it was printing. Okay. So Mark Jama, it was printing. So I have printed it on my laptop. Okay. So right after you fill in the form, you print it, then you come back to the IRCC and come and upload that form. Okay. So before you even start the application on the IRCC, you have to, right? You have to download those forms and fill. There's also another form, the family form. I am very tired. I don't think probably today we will be able to fill the family form. However, tomorrow, okay, tomorrow we will continue. Tomorrow we will continue. And tomorrow we are going to go over application form again. So we will start with filling of the application. We will start with filling of the application. Then we will continue the other documents. Okay, if you are watching me and you don't want to come tomorrow, what you are supposed to do is to fill the forms, the other forms. Okay, so now that you've been able to fill, they ask you the other documents, you upload all the other documents, then you submit, then you make payment. We are going to do that tomorrow. So if tomorrow you can come and watch that video, it will help you. If not, then you have to follow us. You have to follow us another time. All right. So at this point, do you have a question? I know you guys are very tired. You cannot comprehend again. I don't want to load you. Okay. So tomorrow we are going straight to the visa application, right? We are going straight to the visa application tomorrow. Tomorrow exactly 6 p.m. the same time. 6 p.m. the same time. So I will go over the application form at the Adobe Acrobat. That is the only thing we will do. We will not start afresh like okay. So we will fill the application form, then we will fill the family form. I told you that you fill a family form so that if something happened to you, the government can contact your family members. Then the rest is your documents. So your passport, you scan it, you send it to them. So the rest, the following is your bank statement. You get it, you scan it, you upload. So tomorrow you see me uploading all those documents. Then after that, we go to step 3. How do we call it? The payment. Then after you can now book your biometrics. One thing you have to notice, this is for conference. However, the same application form, yes, this video will be saved. Yes, it will be saved. The same application form will be used for a visitor visa. The same application form will be used for a tourist. So if I'm teaching the tourist visa, I'll just refer you to come and watch how we felt. We did the Adobe Acrobat, right? Tourist visa. I will just teach you the documents and the bank statement. That is all. Family invite. I will just teach you how to write a family invitation letter, so that you can really teach your people in Canada to write invitation for you, right? So I will only do that, and I'm trying to get some companies or some conference website so that if not tomorrow, another time, we can go on those websites and try and book some conferences. If not, what you're supposed to do is if you know somebody who used to book conference, you can pay money, they book it for you, then you get that conference, how do we call it, documents. Then you come and do it yourself. That one, your cost will be minimal. So if you know an agent who used to book conference for people, you can ask, how much will you charge me? I want to go to Canada. Can you book a conference for me? If the person book it online for you, then you tell them that I can do the visa application. What I need is my bank statement. That one I can do. So I don't need to come and pay 100,000 Ghana cedi. Just book the conference. Conference is not expensive. The other time site, and it was around, some is around 100 Canadian dollars, 200, 300 Canadian dollars. Some are even cheap. The application fee is even some is payment on arrival. They will not ask you to pay. They'll just let you pay a certain amount. Like you make an advance payment, then when you go, you pay the rest, right? So you can just book, you pay small amount, they give you the invitation. So when you go there, before you then you can now how do we call it? All right. So Kwabena Imano say thank you for tips. GSA, thank you. So I will leave you guys here. You can see that my Wi-Fi is disturbing me because my phone, I was powering with my phone and it's low battery. So tomorrow we are going to do that. If you have any questions, please leave it. People on TikTok, they might join. I can pay 40 pen or what TikTok because Obi and Paddy. I'm as a Canada and F1. So if you don't want to do it, call na ekotua 1.2 billion Emma agent no mo fa wonko because enema emi no bibia ni hwa ye fa no form. Bibia ni hwa ye fa no form. Ida se obebre omogya ni na wasua ye anase obe tragana tama ubenya sika agent for beje no na ode akoma wo mo because me oba media mu a enya de ametumi aya ma o. Enya me na me Davis and be ma o ntime ngigi manim emeje usika e na menye nso nchew. Meje usika na meye na o bank statement na bibi nto mo review so a ebe me ya ntime nye ma o e na mentumi nso nya nchew. Ntime nye ntime kira wo ye se de be ya wo behunu ye wo betima kira unuanom ofiefo na obi bia, right? Also tips, I want to support the channel, send the number. Nyame bochna menua. Nyame bochna. So me de mo besia ye woni ma bebre e wo yanim. Mame update mo said be ya o mom be video ni later. So nyame bochna no ye be ye beto application so akosi payment. Now your next thing ye be tourist, but tourist makacha mo say application from near San Philibium. Etia no so ye besua overview to say the overview na e do application na ma refer mo because at the same thing now be ka fill details no It will not turn no udru ha tourist centers na wabobashim, hotel crowd bed na wabobashim. Say obi invite wa family inviting so almost so may refer omo to the application for the application there. Ube here papa. You free wa let us see a real visit no money ade. Now your next thing, a student sorry work. It's work, you know. You best start here free job bank. Yes, I call job bank. Now much them how to create a job bank account. Now will be a LMI companies, you know. Here we are now seeing how to book a work permit, documents and money are there. Yeah, no, we are. You best see a pilot program, any express entry, and also a Juma Nebia. And also, yes, here we are. Your next thing I be connect. You move here free a Jumano. Now your co student, ɛhɔ nso yɛbɛsua school application eti yɛbɛyi college bɛyɛ 1 or 2 na yɛsua application na yɛafa university baako bi na no nso yɛsua application na yɛkɔ na yɛfiri hɔ a na afei yɛsua student visa na ankasa nso application na ɛno nso yɛsua wie a na yɛ next thing ɛne sɛ biribi ani Canada bi mu a then we can move to US sɛdeɛ yɛyɛ UK no saa na yɛbɛyɛ ɛyɛ na menim sɛ moba time no you stream it check na mobra nkyɛn me my bread because before say meba no me di kan research me take note no money ada sometimes me refresh mind kakra so me bread check mo kra we am we am for so expect say o ma send me messages or WhatsApp me say me reply am for say o mo email me say me reply o say me say ko TikTok comment section obi a ohia yi bia wa comment bia o say me reply bia o say me reply because me to me who is was meboa so what bra on branch me na no me video we say your last video by IRCC obi be hu ye no didi matem o say IRCC na why ne 3 hours na odidi matem obi na de channel me share wo say behwe wo na waba e na wo pe Canada akọ e na wo behwe sa video no oba 3 hours sa video no kra IRCC de 1 hour meboa me wie na me ka kwan ya me fa so nya me visa and na ye didi nkomo enti me atiefo na edi nkomo na video ne 3 hours oba ya na wo didi matem e comment section ase by YouTube no menim kwan ya me fa so block ni pakronti me jane live ema no right channel no me ana amaye me ana me streaming video no me dem afa data stream ya na wa obehwe na wo didi matem no wo su data na me streaming dem afa data gadget me kasa microphone me front cameras me dey software na me di stream yard ma torment bi am triaka me no na ube say my within a ube di matem eti de ebeye no yebeye omo besua no omo besua oba na video no ewa we a live session man for ebisa questions me sa to me boase into na we say o forward the video no ekọ ba bia wo pe na wahwe obi am for so open so amenhwe free life no so because at the end of the day no oko Canada uye ya emba mebusuam eti woni ho kwan se obeba be didi matem because me nidi watem right eti eya munjai sade no meda mu nyina amase moma bye na me watch na 6 p.m. Ghana time eya munhia me